morning. Welcome in to the AEL University Elite Series. Here it's Metzi and Emperor ZK back for some Marvel Rivals action. And I'm super duper pumped up to get down to business for this one. But before we get down to business, we have to say a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. But who else must we thank, Emp?
We have Indomie, the noodle partner made with high quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie migraine will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au.
Oh yeah, big shout out to our sponsors, always and forever there. You know them, we love them. AOC and Indomie. We love them. Great stuff coming out from them, but great stuff on the horizon here tonight as well. Let's take a look at exactly how things have gone down. Tied up at the top, it's the showdown. Monash, UTS, that's going to be on our screens tonight. But following up, 3, 4, it's RMIT and Macquarie. Definitely getting a nice up close and personal there. UNSW close behind at Macquarie as well. That top 4 spot in high contest there. UOM close behind in 6th place as well. 2 to 4 there. It's QUT and Swinburne, unfortunately, at the bottom. Hopefully they can get their first win.
Well, looking at tonight's match, beginning we have MQU versus RMIT at 7 p.m, followed by UOM versus UNSW at 8 p.m. 9 p.m. is Swinburne versus QUT, and the finale is UTS versus Monash. Some mega kind of competition for tonight, and I am very hyped up to see what they've got.
Oh, I'm hyped up as well, and I think it's going to be an absolute fun time ahead. Let's take a look back at our standings again. As you can see from our matches, we have got a big adventure on the way. Definitely eager to see the showdown between our top 2 squads here. Who will finally be able to claim the throne? That's going to be the big question. Definitely eager to see how that goes down here. Obviously, this is, I'd say the match to watch, you know, but bear in mind, we're not in playoffs yet. So all these matches are doing at the moment is obviously settling our standings through to see who's going to be able to push their way even closer towards the playoffs here. And we'll see who will end up on top, who may yet get left behind. It's going to be a fun time ahead. But obviously, not thinking just about the top of the pack. It's the middle of the pack as well. RMIT, Macquarie, UNSW, all very, very close to one another here. RMIT solidified in 3rd place for now. However, if Macquarie takes away a victory this week, or this week, or even UNSW, that could certainly shake things up. UOM still close behind as well, so that 4th place certainly in hot contention there, but same 2 for the 3rd place spot there. So eager to see who's going to be able to shake that one up, because no one's position is safe.
Yeah, talking about it being unsafe is if UOM beats UNSW and RMIT beats MQU, the 4th seed, well, you know, it will be a very hot contest right here. So things definitely can be an upset. So we'll be definitely looking at some of the things that could be happening. But more than anything else, right? Since we're not at the playoffs yet, this is still a night where things can be hitting up very hard and trying to lock themselves in. Everybody is going to be needing to bring in their top A game. Right? You cannot be holding anything back anymore. Whatever you have been strategizing, whatever you have been, trying to experiment, this is it. You have to put them into practice, make sure that you lock down the final wins, and yeah, it's going to be good. So let's have a look at match number 1.
That's the one. Macquarie, RMIT. One of the hot contest matches here, and very excited to see who's going to be able to come out on top here. You know, we're certainly keenly watching what could be ahead of us. What could be ahead of us? Well, it's our rosters. It's going to be Tashi, 250R, Nascent, Technovius, Helix, 16, Crescent, and Just a Tuna. RMIT, Air Ninja, Smiles, Osaragi, Kari, Ethan Winters, 44, and Alk.
I think when it came down to these players from last week, and obviously from my first cast with Marvel Rivals, I actually did see a very decent RMIT coming out from this one. And of course, MQU did put a lot of good work to it as well. So while I'm still a little bit more rough on the edges, looking through all the powers from all the schools, I'm just looking forward to see what else that we can be getting into. And yeah, look, let's go to the map. What do we have, Matsy? Like, look at that beauty.
Oh, it's quite glorious, isn't it? I feel like I wish we had a character where we could just jump into the picture, and we could just get inside the map straight away. I feel like that'd be pretty fun. You just jump in like a Venom Ultimate, just get straight into that map there. Definitely eager to see how it's all going to go down, everybody. Obviously, first map ahead of us going to be a fun one, and definitely excited for what's to come from that, and very keen to see how things shape up heading into the future as well. And obviously, I think Ultron's going to be coming out. Get keen for that. Guys, feel though, big fan phase, and the first one on the chopping block is going to be through tanks. Goodbye, Captain America. Goodbye, Aaron the Frost. Time to get those picks unlocked.
Yeah, I think I agree with you when it comes down to Royal Palace. In a domination map right here, Venoms or tanks, rather a really annoying one, are always big contenders to try to ban away. So you have Bruce Banner being locked in, followed by Solok. I think this is a good pick. This covers quite a variety of range and skirmishes that both sides is probably looking to get through. So Star-Lord being one of the most freest characters out there that can be just dueling it out and DPSing while not being touched, it's a great call out. And then obviously following with Hellas, if you ban one, you gotta ban the other. So it will be a nice, interesting one. Since it is going to be an open kind of a domination setting, like I'll be surprised to see if there is going to be anyone locking down a tank buster. If they do want to go through, like say for example, play around movies, if they want to play around more support eccentric, and not banning away right there, trying to just open up a few more to go through into the mix, I think is a good call. But both sides could be playing the same thing, right? They can both just say, no, we both elect not to lock something down. But Magneto is going to be locked on this side. I think that was eventually to pop out. Is more of a safe pick right here. So the bans coming out here might still be focused around support, or you could just be a tank.
Let's see what they are going to be. Looking to push through now. 2 bans remain. Taking it down to the wire on this one, and it's Namor. But who will be the next one down on the chopping block? Macquarie have to make a big decision here. And it's made with great haste. It's going to be the Punisher.
Pick your hero.
Now, based on the hovers on the RMIT side, they might be keen on Hawkeye. I don't know. It seems like they're keen on Hawkeye. Definitely good to see the Hulk pick through there. Technovius obviously playing that one very prevalently in matches past. So great to see that one come through. Tashi onto the Scarlet Wish as well. We've got Adam Warlock coming through with Mantis there. That's one that's been left by the wayside. And Dr. Strange going to be jumping out, as well as Invisible Woman. So on the bottom, you've got the Thing. You've got the Human Torch there. Mantis, Psylocke, Magneto, and TBD. Definitely eager to see how these compositions play out. I like the team-ups that are in place already here. I think they've definitely got good structure to their compositions, but curious to see what that final touch is for RMIT in order to try and lock things into place here. I think both teams definitely have the aggressive flair and potential behind them, and very interested particularly with how Osaragi is going to manipulate the map here to try and get behind their opponents and really shape things into motion.
I think at this stage it's not going to be too bad of a choice from RMIT because they do have the Human Torch and the front is actually real strong. All Magneto has to do is just air ninja just to hold to the front with smiles to contest against Technovius. Helix meanwhile is going to be bringing a little bit of annoyance here because Tashi's team up, it's a lot of damage at the beginning, and so as they do get into this one, you can see Technovius just jumping all around, getting quite low already. Doesn't want to lose out to the form, so he's going to get bubbled up as well. He's going to be okay, but there's already the backstab coming through. Osaragi making a great place to be, and you can see that team up. It is one of the best team ups for DPS, just completely bust the front, really open. and Osaragi trying to make it a little bit more crazier because he wants to make sure that everyone is not going to be able to support it, and that's great play. You can see everyone from NQU is going to get wiped here. Nascent and Tashi is going to be forced back at this stage. While they were trying to make to the point, they were all strangle held on that one-way stairs, and that is going to cost them.
Yeah, going to cost them big there, and we'll see just how deep those costs are going to range here. Try and push through now. Aggress towards the point. I do have a big front line they have to deal with here. Big damage coming out. Heals coming back in consequence. The tanks shaping things up. Blow for blow at this point. No one breaking out just yet, but we'll see the opening come through in a second. Look at the damage coming through now. Human Torch got that ultimate available as well. Going to try and pump through the damage there. Crescent goes down. Osaragi around the back. Going to be able to trade it back. Crescent on top of it as well. There's still tons of damage coming through from Kari here. Human Torch on top of it. Locks down 2. Looking even for more. There's the Mantis ult. Keeping them alive a little bit longer here. Good slam dunk. Not going to be able to pump through to get anyone else out of it. And it's a tough challenge ahead. No one gaining the upper hand here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough run from NQU, as there is going to be the Hulk ultimate coming through. It's just to buy some space, and there's also the Eye of Agamotto. It's going to catch a whole bunch, and they are going to be able to take out 3 at this stage, and as that's going to be pretty good for them to contest the point. One has to wonder, like, how much more can they get through this? You can see Smile's just going to be going around in a circle, trying to knock everyone up. There is going to be a cap finally from NQU, but you can see the struggle that they are trying to make to the point. Now they do have 2 ults coming through. The next point of contest, Tashi will be able to just annoy them away if there is a possibility of a play, and there is an Adam Waller for the res just in case as well. But it's just that they need to be able to catch a lot more damage before they do make it in, and they were able to catch Osaragi a little bit, but Osaragi is safe. He's still able to go and stab at the back. The biggest question is how much time can they buy into this. That's what the Buffalo does get complete. Oh no, it does pick up a kill. I was about to say the Soulbound should have hit that one, but Osaragi is going to be able to get out and completely taken out by Technovis right after. There's also going to be the res as well. It looks like they do want to make this the play to completely shut out the rest of RMIT's advances.
Yeah, try and shut them down before they can really get activated here. Kari going down, going to be a good start here. We'll see if Makori can find a bit more momentum just like that there. It's great they forced them all the way back to spawn as well, but they realize they can't overstay their welcome here. They have to fall back a little bit. Make sure they play from a safe distance, otherwise they could get overwhelmed. You can see already Helix trying to fall back, taking a lot of damage in consequence. But they do eventually make it back to safe ground here. RMIT are already on their heels, trying to seal the deal and get in for a fight.
Alright, here's the little bit of a choke point. There's gonna be 4 ults invested right here. And so, that's gonna be the first one from Mantis. Human Torch also gonna be trying to jump and survive right here. He is gonna be able to get away from this one. That's gonna be a little more. Just Tuna also gonna be tuning in. Helix, they're probably gonna be holding on to the most important one. Waiting for the time, and there's gonna be the Eye of Agamotto. He's gonna go and hit pretty much most of the MQU backline. But the thing is, there's no other damages. And here comes the investment from Tashi from the front. Does catch and ninja into this one, doesn't have the shield anymore. But at this second, that fight is pretty much going to go into the favor of NQU. And as they are getting into this OT, the claps are going to be invested by Elk, but at the end, it's just that DPS, that stranglehold in the end, that's going to keep away RMIT. And that's going to be MQU taking that first one.
Yeah, great start there. Really thought the momentum was going to be against them for a little bit, but they do manage to make it work on the Bifrost Garden. Now changing things up in the throne room. Keen to see if they are going to be able to maintain course there. Keep up that momentum. Whether RMIT might be able to strike back here. Definitely a lot to consider. Heading into this next sector here. And at least the teams have a bit of time to discuss their options, you know? Ponder on their path forward. Curious to see how it's all going to go down now. RMIT locked in with the 3 supports there. And eager to see how things go down. We're going to be hulking out as well. Technovi is activated. Going to be the green mean villain machine. And eager to see how they go. Getting onto the point. Facing off against the opposing tanks there. Smiles and Air Ninja. Ready to face them head on. But speaking of head on, we're getting head on into the game right now. It's time to get back down to business. And our teams are approaching this with confidence.
Confidence is what both sides really need. RMIT definitely just going to be relying on their front line, with Osaragi going to be trying to find the pokes at the back. One has to think very carefully when playing this kind of a comp. You're looking at your combos to fully connect as fast as you can, and then right after find the right angles. The biggest concern with this is Kari gets taken up by Nason. I think that was just a right click and just completely catches it. And then right now, as there is going to be the old investment of Osaragi, there's not going to be enough to really buy them the time and space. So Nason does goes down, but it's traded by Smiles. You can see Tashi is trying to just angle him down with the right clicks. The orbs connecting, also just completely busting the front, completely open. Yes, there's going to be the shield, but then the rest of the team from RMIT, they have all been melted, and they still have ults ready to support.
Ready to support, ready. Try and sport some difference here, and we'll see. They are going to be able to get that difference now. RMIT slowly but surely creeping back to the point. Macquarie trying to keep all eyes on all different angles here. They've got a lot of ground to cover, and RMIT, if they smother their way in, can definitely exploit that ground. Speaking of, here we go, pushing from down under right now. Technovius on top of it. Good little immobilization there on Smiles as well. Tashi dishing out a lot of damage, but Technovius now on track with their activation, trying to deal a lot more. Clobbering time coming through as well, really doing a lot in this one to keep them out of it. BkWhatOCE available as well if they need a real wild card here, but not going to be necessary at this point. Smiles down, hunting down even more players as well. Technovius in a bit of trouble now, wreaking havoc, and they do fall back. And RMIT forced to reconsider their options.
Yeah, this is such a difficult angle to retake right now. It's like you're doomed if you do go through with a whole straight line, and you're doomed if you don't anyway, because you don't want to be playing that separate. It's just that there's no timing at the right time. No one's taking Tashi down any time. AGON is also going to be invested right now. It's going to be the complete shutdown right now. You can see it out instantly ready to go. And of course, Kraken is going to be unleashed at the same time. Support's just going to be trading everything they can. They're throwing the whole kitchen sink at MQU, and thank goodness Nason was taken out earlier, so there's not going to be any rest coming through, as they are going to try to lock down the final players from MQU. One got to be thinking, they are still on the point. They are still able to hold on to this as of now and contest 98%, 99%, as yes, there is going to be the ult from Invisible Woman, and you are going to be able to contest and eventually grab this. But is that enough time? And there is going to be that rest just to guarantee it. MQU throwing everything they can, trying to just lock it down.
Lock it down, locked and loaded here. See if they can manage to take this victory. RMIT do manage to steal the reins though, but it's time for Smiles to activate as well. Technovius trying to get on track. Down to the butterfly comes out. BkWhatOCE as well. Going to be able to get the back line dismantled, but RMIT still pulling ahead somewhat here. This is problematic for Macquarie. They need to reset. Try and fall back for a second. Look to go again once they're now recuperated, but it still carries a plethora of difficulties here. The bare minimum, Macquarie at least come out of it with the Scarlet Witch ultimate available. And we'll see if they are going to be able to make this one possible. It's a difficult time ahead, but not an impossible one. Here comes that portal though. Macquarie ready. Jumping into it right now. Activate, and it gets the job done. A big attack there. Binding 2, looking for more. Lunar Snow ult though, keeping them on the dance floor. Oh, one of them gets pulled out of it. Ethan Winters, where you going? They're caught out of place, and now it allows them to clear more space here. This is big for Macquarie, forcing them back even more. Hulk is hunting down Psylocke right now. It's all coming unwound, Deb.
Oh boy, there is going to be the takedown, and Bucky also goes down. That is bad news. Your primary DPS is gone, and everyone else is not going to be able to support. Now the final portal does come into play, trying to survive, but when you get beamed down right now, there is nothing else you can do. So MQU successfully takes that first one at Domination Royal Palace. They've done a whole bunch right there. Like on the throne room, it felt like it was no contesting, especially since when they came out, they said we were confident enough to go through with our balanced team. 3 supports not going to be able to get this one through, and MVP obviously goes through the most angriest and annoying Technovius on that Hulk.
Yeah, they really made a statement there with that one, didn't they? They were absolutely in their face, clearing space and just wreaking havoc, and crazy stuff coming through from both the Hulks there, but Technovius is the one to pull ahead in the end, and great to see that they're able to make such an impact, make such a statement for their team.
Yeah, I personally agree with the pick and bans. I felt like, yes, there wasn't need to ban on Namor, but then based on last week, it was sort of the same. It's like either you ban Namor, or you don't. Either way, we're not gonna be playing Namor. So I feel like there is a little bit of that, scrutiny when it comes down to it, and everybody loves the Mega Squid. But the thing is, when it comes down to a very focused 6-on-6, the more picks are not as celebrated as what it should be. Obviously, it offers a ton of opportunity, and the DPS is great. But the thing is, you have good aim. You're not going to be able to keep that squid up for an extended amount of time unless you get the greatest angle. And of course, just on that one, there was no angles, right? Everyone's angle was just in a beeline. If they wanted to go into contest to the site, they are all going through one way through the stairs, or they going down the stairs. And I felt like that's one of the things that really hurt them. And so, yeah, and now we are going to go to the next map, and let's see if there's going to be a switch up from RMIT.
Yeah, curious to see what's going to be in store there, whether they're going to be able to make a switch up and take some of that momentum that we saw from Macquarie come through there. And they're going to be doing it on Midtown, so definitely eager to see what this map entails. Obviously one of the newer ones on the fight card there, and curious to see how these teams will navigate it once we get into it there. It's going to be a fun one ahead, I'm certain, and curious to see what the bands look like as well. I think maybe Hulk will probably find their way onto the chopping block. I got a feeling that RMIT will probably try and get rid of that one. Speaking of, we'll find out exactly what they're getting rid of. It's Captain America, immediately gone. What does that mean? Probably Emma Frost again. So pretty much a repeat of what we saw in the first map so far.
This doesn't really strike a bad one right now. It's like either you're gonna be banning Hulk or you're gonna ban Captain America, and either way, Emma Frost is right gone. After that, is where you go from right next to it, right? Because obviously they want the Punisher to be banned, but you gotta choose. You want Hela or you want Punisher. So they are gonna be sticking with Hela instead, which means that they will most likely ban off, if they do want to go for Scarlet Witch right here or Doctor Strange, it wouldn't be out of essence, but it looks like they are going to be taking a support away from Nascent, so focus on that Adam Warlock. And then on the side of MQU, this will pretty much be free up for them. They are going to be choosing to ban out the Psylocke, which I guess is okay of a decision. In the last one, they didn't really have a problem with it. And so having it and not having it is always going to be a good pick. I personally think if they wanted to just completely ban it out, they could have went with a ban on another tank, but they are going to be locking down a Strange here. So it looks like both sides is going to be trying to hover through with the Scarlet Witch. And yeah, I guess since Tashi did a ton of damage and a ton of support without really getting checked, this is one of the better picks out there, where both is probably going to be thinking.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be pondering on it, aren't they? And I'm really grateful to see Wolverine locked in as an alternative this time. So clearly they want to have that flexibility to go for a tank destroyer. And considering the impact of tanks in the last one, fair enough. We'll see what the next bans are going to entail, though. Always going down to the wire in these last critical moments. That's a targeted one, absolutely. Be banning against Tashi there with the Scarlet Witch, and eager to see what they are going to be bringing out in a consequence for a ban of their own there. So they have only a few moments, and Magneto not going to see the light of day this time. So obviously there's still flexibility. Tashi doesn't just play Scarlet Witch. They can play Wolverine as well, it would seem. Or not. There we go. Star-Lord, staple pick for Tashi there. Kari going to be locking down the Wolverine. So big impact picks already coming through. Technovius falling into the same pattern there, playing into the Hulk. They've definitely played that one very well. Helix jumping on to the Thing, as well as Invisible Woman coming through. Loki, maybe? The Winter Soldier. So looking good on top, but on RMIT side, we do have Hela, Groot, Invisible Woman coming out, Rocket, Hulk, And there's Namor. So Namor was banned out in the first map there, but does break through in this one. So curious to see how Kari navigates that.
This is one of my favorite team ups. A Hulk and Namor coming through with Omega Squid makes me smile every time. You know, you get a critical hit and it just goes, and you can just hear the DPS coming through. It's one of the more satisfying things that you can get in Marvel Rivals. And obviously people who plays, you know, the Assassin Stars, when you're playing Spidey and all that, that's the worst sound you could ever hear when you pop out. But either way, we are going to be having another more for pushing. It's quite great when it comes down to it. And the most important thing is you can buy you plenty of room. You do not want to see Omega Squid and a Squid right behind on your backline because it just does too much. And at the front though, RMIT has a great little bit of window, but Tashi is going to quickly get aimed down by Osaragi. And of course, we are going to get Technovius down a little bit as well. And you can see RMIT. This is the game plan, right? This is what they're looking for. Try to get yourself the room, try to use those Omega Squids and try to use the squids, the normal ones, just to push all the supports away, and then they can't do anything about it. And Ninja, meanwhile, is not on that Magneto. It's going to be just fine already. It's going to be playing for keep away. If you are going to be jumping through, we're going to put some doors right behind you. And yeah, it's just plenty of RMIT spaces.
Yeah, they're doing a good job taking control so far, aren't they? And they're even able to further it. Crescent going down there. Namor playing their role well, and they might even be able to isolate another pick. They choose their battles correctly here. Technovius, though, does find Smiles, so this is a good bit of resistance here, but this choke point is proving to be quite perilous for Macquarie in this one. There we go, Technovius down, ultimate activated there. Send another one to Davy Jones locker. They are locking in this damage. Kari just on an absolute tear right now and pushes them over the line with haste. That first point is theirs and they are pushing on to the second very quickly.
I did say if you got good placements, right, when you're playing them all, Class 101 is you never really played the full team. Yes, there's going to be a lot of time that you're going to have to stick with the team and provide great amount of DPS and stuff. But your most important objective is to make sure that you have the best placements and completely have it. And there it is. He's going to place it out into the open. No one's really trying to aim it down. And even if they do, they're going to have to start investing. And as his ult is being charged, there's going to be another one invested. Visible Wound is going to be coming down. Eye of Agamotto is also going to be coming down as well. But in the middle, we're not going to be seeing the greatest amount of DPS coming through. And you can see Hela on top throwing everything we can, just trying to take Nason down. Focus fully on the DPS, not really too much into the support at that second, but just the tuner eating just a little bit too much of that damage.
Yeah, eating it up, and gonna be forced to just fall off this time, but they'll be back in a second, hopefully. We'll see what else is going to be coming through, though. The squid's coming out, dishing out that passive damage, allowing them to poke from afar there is just so tenacious. See what else they are going to be able to find now. Technovius sent hacking here. The wall is proving to be their worst enemy as well. The group combo is just insane. Look at those squids just going to work right now. Laser focus from Kari. Just chopping them out one after the other. Kari looking unstoppable right now. And they're already getting so close to this second point.
Yeah, this is one of those things when you have no one to really clamp down and focus onto those squids. It's really rough to be healing out. This is where a nice Punisher or something will be coming out, trying to contest, or even at this stage, a Storm might just be able to break that one through, but you can see it. RMIT has momentum. You're playing Wolverine here. Wolverine is never going to touch those squids on those squid placements, and then as soon as you jump in, those wards are just coming through. Look how much damage Omega Squid is doing right now. Technovius jumps in, gets power down. That could have been an amazing place also for an ult, but Kari electing not to go for it, just for the clump up. And yes, there is going to be the full takedown right here, and RMIT losing a little bit of a steam. They are going to get wiped here, but the problem, and the biggest problem right now, is that they have that second capture point, so reset is not going to be a delay.
Yeah, not going to be delayed there at all, and it looks like we're going to be hulking out as well. Smiles back on track here. Ready to push in, try and take this point one step closer. You have the Hella ultimate on Osaragi as well. You can see Lunar Snow activated, but Kari delivers 3 kills coming through right now, and more to follow. Kari just ripping them apart again. Kari is an absolute executioner in this one, and Macquarie just don't have an answer.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, if they did have Star-Lord, it would have been a better case, but, you know, in this second, they said, you know, the front is probably the biggest problem for our composition. So Kyrie, you know, in a great place to just keep on opting that DPS. Doesn't really have to do anything, just have to make sure that he is going to be staying alive or is going to be in a safe place. The crit goes through. Look how much things they have to be investing. Can't be taking him out, but Saragi is going to get hit with the ult. He gets taken out as of this right now, but at the same time, you know, we do have plenty of more to be going through, right? You have, you know, Obdendacious does come down. Smiles is going to get down from this one, but right after that, everyone's sitting through Invisible Woman ult. And of course, the Squid is still right on top. They're trying to jump onto him. He's already got another ult ready to go, but I don't think he's going to be able to go through anything else. Most of his team are just out of position as of now. He doesn't get too much value, and as they are going to try to bite that extra room for him. Look at that Hulk. Jumps in, gets stunned up as well, and then without putting up as much as he wants on DPS, has to quickly jump back. And this is where MQU has to look, because the ult will come through and Nathan gets taken out.
Gets taken out and drops him down. Osaragi ready to play right now. Does deliver. Couple of good kills, more to follow as well. Kari not the only one doing work here. Good catch though from Tashi, but Tashi is shut down promptly there. They are laser focused on the targets appearing here. And it's just so unlucky, Macquarie. You know, they're trying, but try as they might, they're not able to take flight. RMIT will deliver and get it over the line with over 1.5 minutes to spare. So now time for the side switch. Time to see how Macquarie does on their own attack here. But based on that first section there, Emp, that was a grim beginning.
Yeah, that was really rough. No one really contesting. I think at one stage we had Nathan and of course just a tuner trying to aim at the squids, and it just didn't work. And now, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it themselves, right? Because Technovius is already the main on Hulk, and so Nathan switching onto it is going to be no problem, and Kyrie of course still locks him down. It will be interesting to see if they don't want to be contesting, so it's going to be 3 squid against 2, only because they do have a Punisher that can just quickly aim Kyrie's squid down. But the most important thing right here is that although, you know, that is a really good option, you know, you have different kind of healers right here. Crescent and just a tuner has to be dealing with the possible off angles as well. Any off angle squids will beam them down, so they don't really have a chance to get out besides investing the lunar claps. And of course, you know, it really depends just how much Tashi gets away with his Punisher. Obviously, most of the heals is going to be looking at him, and he's going to have to do as much as he can in order to completely destroy Kyrie's squid and counter him, and at the same time balance out what that front is going to be, as Nathan is going to be switching off the Namor, and there is going to be the Bucky locked in at the end.
Yeah, locking it down and ready to see if they are going to be able to take this one a step further here. They hold on to it for the second. Gamma Squid going down, so they're locked into that. Do have prompt hook there, Nassenly. That's a good one. We'll see if they are going to find more just like that, trying to shut down more presence up front here, but it's proving to be difficult nonetheless. We'll see what else they can find though. They are just using that turret to their advantage. Speaking of big shots from Nassenly again, trying to go for the hook there. Not going to be able to sink it, however. Smiles drop down to Bruce form as well. Will be traded immediately, and they will be able to bring Nassenly back. So, decent beginning here, but haven't got it a step further towards that first point yet.
Well, as you are going to be having a lot of jump ins right now with Venom, Technovius is still going to quickly chop up into that E, but the damage, you know, quickly gets him out, and Ninja gets taken out as well at the front. It means that RMIT is not doing too bad of this pushing power. There is plenty that they can be dealing with this, obviously, with consistent DPS. Osaki is going to get caught out with Venom ult, and there is going to be the full counter. This is what you want to see, Right, some diving tanks to really get a little bit more vulnerability created, the sound speed, and at the same time, there is going to be the portal coming through. Punisher with his ult trying to do as much DPS as possible. You can see the supports completely coming through, and they are trying to get this one through. Air Ninja is going to get taken out. There is going to be the full Hello ult trying to blast this one while they're at the top. Osaragi is going to aim down, takes 3, waiting for the final angles. He's going to get just a tuna, but I guess we are going to be just staring at a quick pause for now. But yeah, RMIT does have plenty of pushing prowess. Oh, and we are back. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we're just playing with our heartstrings there, you know. Love to see it. Love to see it. But no, hopefully everything should be all good in a second here. Obviously, our players just dealing with something, but I think we should be back on track in just a second. I'm sure both teams are going to be pumped up to the limit as well. This match has been neck and neck. You know, we saw a very impressive Macquarie in the first map, but RMIT certainly bringing themselves back. The pentakill going to be locked down there by Osaragi in the end. And so, pause comes through, and now they have to play the timer. We'll see who's going to be able to pull ahead here. Will it be Macquarie? Will it be RMIT? All going to be proved and tested in just a moment. The shots come out, trying to jab at each other. Osaragi forced to fall back as well. Can't stay too close to the sun for too long or you get burnt.
All right. There is a lot of investment put through by MQU. They're putting through the passive as well. Really want Tasha to be accelerated. And at the same time, oh, does get the ults. Want to jump in, without. You can see just how fast has to balance this one at that front. Investing as much as he can, but he doesn't get the room to be playing. Gets frozen, gets depowered back down, and nothing's going to be saving him from Tashi. And right here as well, there is going to be a huge ult from Kyrie. Just one to connect 3. Osaragi also gets taken down. Tashi's going to get rest, but the rocket, but you can see MQU, although they had a little bit of early advantage and they were doing just fine, but right after, it's just completely falling apart.
Falling apart, and ready to see if they can manage to take this away from the start. As the ult comes through, the walls come down. We'll see if they are going to be able to bring this one up. Shots come over the top there, Kari. Trying their best to do lock in a good headshot from downtown. Nasenly taking a lot of punishment here. Gamma Squid's coming out as well. We'll see if they are going to be able to lock things down. BkWhatOCE comes out too, but unfortunately not able to do too much. Loki going to be ulting through as well. Getting bigger and bigger by the second here. Nasenly caught out. Osaragi good for it. See if they can be good for more. And more does take down the ult. Goodbye healing and goodbye to your team, but Present is back thanks to Rocket. Rocket might not be so well off in a second though. Those supports are getting focused down relentlessly. Kari hunting them down, trying to shut them out entirely. The overtime timer is trickling down, and just like that, RMIT secure victory on map 2.
Oh boy. Oh boy, damned if you do, damned if you don't. RMIT taking a very confident one, using that name more. And look, Kyrie here, obviously the MVP. Don't have to be thinking too much about the Gamma Squids. The placement was beautiful and definitely put an ISO out there for everyone else to be seeing. And this is exactly what I say. Like this team up, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. I'm actually very surprised that MQU doesn't play into it. So they said, you know what, if you don't play it, we're not going to ban it. So we will play it instead, because Magneto get banned out and Ninja set up a perfect little bit of a kill box. Smalls competing there with Helix. It's just weaving in, weaving out, and then buying that room and then using Kyrie's Namor right there is just huge. 32.7k damage. Like this man was just living in their head rent free.
Absolutely living out their dreams, and the dreams came true. And I guess that goes to prove exactly why the Namor was banned out in map 1, right? And as a result, they let it through in this one, and they wreaked absolute havoc. I would be very shocked if that pick gets let through again. Emp, I think that they've learned their lesson, Macquarie. Maybe not, you know. We'll find out in the next pick ban phase, but that's going to be a real shaker for them. You know, I reckon that they're going to be very shaken because I'm sure they would have come into that second map with a lot of confidence, you know. But unfortunately, confidence was misplaced, and RMIT will be pulling ahead to even things up 1-1 here. One final map to prove who will be our victor in this one. It is going to be an absolute bloodbath ahead, I'm sure. And I don't know who's going to be able to pull ahead in this one, Emp. You know, like you saw Macquarie, they tried to create solutions there. I saw what they were kind of trying to go for with the Wolverine, but it didn't work. It didn't work at all. And RMIT, they were just reaping those rewards, you know. They were making it rain with kills for them. It was like Namor just sent a sea of blood coming out of the skies, and it was the blood of their enemies just everywhere. It's going absolutely crazy, Amp, and keen to see if that's going to be the case again heading into this third map here, because, yeah, I'm feeling heated up. That was a spicy map.
Yeah, I think the way MQU thought about this one, you know, obviously it was just like, all right, if I have Wolverine, we can bust open the open, especially since if we don't get to play Magneto, it makes the front a little bit more squishier for Wolverine to open this one up. But more than anything, I feel like RMIT had that plan. They said, all right, look, you know, the biggest problem that we had to deal with in the first map, which was Scarlet Witch. You know, if we take away Scarlet Witch and we play our Doctor Strange, and you know, obviously no one wants to ban out Strange coming out to it, it's going to be a good thing. And obviously if we go for the switch, obviously because Technovius does want to constantly hover to his main, which is going to be the Incredible Hulk, why don't we do the same and let's get an experiment going through, right? This could be something that they were trying to cook, and Kyrie coming through does have the placement. He called out the rest of MQU without really too much of a reaction. Yes, you know, you can't take out the squid, but then you neglect at the front. Who's going to be the one to take it out? And then because of the pick and ban, right? So yeah, you can use Punisher, you can use Star-Lord, you can use Hela to try to focus it out. But then right after that, you're still going to have to like aim back down, try to destroy that front. It's just your DPS is missing in order to shut one down. It's a consistent problem that people are going to have to be trying to deal with. Either you heal through it and try to angle it so everyone gets a hit and you're good. Otherwise, you're just going to have to let it wait and let it rip and wait every seconds until it comes back up. And yeah, Kyrie just found a really good solution for them.
Absolutely. They found the perfect solution in that instance, and definitely eager to see what solutions they're going to be able to come up with once we do get into the next one here as well. I think there's going to be a lot of thinking to come through from both sides as to how they approach it. And speaking of, we're getting straight into the approach now. Curious if those first bans are going to change now. You know, we've seen Captain America and Emma Frost, very common bans coming out first, and it looks like this is no exception. They do not want to see those picks come through in any instance. Or not. Hela's gone. Okay. They've left Emma Frost on the table. We'll see if that's going to be locked in here or whether it's going to be left by the wayside. Definitely curious what's to come here, because that's a difference. There you go. Adam Warlock going to be the first pick.
I think that's also a good support answer, because obviously Adam Warlock with Soulbound, with just his chain heals, it's a really good option. But, you know, obviously leave that open. Emma Frost is going to be left for the open as well. Very strong tank, very good at the front. Is going to be immune to like most of the CCs as well in the diamond form, and they are going to take care of Star-Lord, and you know, the focus onto that Captain America into Star-Lord is pretty much targeted, and then there's going to be reverse target coming back out from MQU. I think they just don't want to deal with any of that, because RMIT did have a good showing of strength, and you know, towards their comp, obviously if you do have Adam Warlock at the back, any pressure to him is one of the worst things that you can get, and Mantis getting picked here. So very support as kind of a setup from MQU. So I'm very interested to see what RMIT want to do here, because they don't need to leave anything out into the open now. So Punisher is going to be the consistent DPS right here, and if they do choose out to ban, it will just be looking at a possible pick at the tank.
Yeah, curious to see who's going to be at the last bans here. Who will they be able to lock out? Because they've already locked out the Star-Lord and now the Scarlet Witch. This is so targeted against Tashi here. I feel so bad for Tashi. It seems like all their mainstay picks are just getting wiped out. They're just like, I don't want to see Tashi play. That's how they're approaching it. But Rocket going to be banned out now as well. So Tashi jumping straight onto the Hawkeye there, trying to pick what they can here. Definitely curious to see how this one's going to go down. So we do see Mantis, Adam Warlock coming through, Invisible Woman as well. We got Hawkeye, Hulk, possibly Spider-Man up top. Probably something different, let's be honest. But in terms of RMIT there, they've got Punisher, Invisible Woman, Emma Frost, Wolverine, Loki, and Groot. So big amount of picks coming through there. First time we see the Emma Frost coming out, as it was consistently banned through until now. So we'll see just how well they can play that one. Are they going to be able to establish a big presence here, or will they just be falling by the wayside?
It's a very big question coming up from RMIT. Obviously, they do have a very consistent front. I think that's one of the best front compositions that I've seen tonight. No, but we are gonna get a switch. So Crescent quickly gonna go into Loki, and Kyrie is gonna be opting with Human Torch here, which means that they're gonna be trying to buy some room for like when it comes down to the attack, they want to set up a kill box here and there. But more than anything else, Tashi might get a shot here, because obviously when you do have a Hawkeye to get all this aim and the sonic arrows coming through, you can be doing a ton more DPS than they're used to and getting through. A good shutout will be nice. So this opening is the most important thing right here. And you can see Smiles trying to go through. There is going to be the grab, try to quickly isolate and get the Hulk through, and the Hulk is going to get taken down, I think. And yeah, like, this is one of those moments you got to pick and choose. What do you want to do with your team comp? And RMIT knows exactly how to play it.
Yeah, they're playing it to a T here, locking them down one after the other. Smiles able to isolate those picks. Osaragi chiming in as well now, and they are just targeting so effectively here, isolating their opponents, playing around their characters' maneuverability so well. Like Kari's taking to the skies and making sure to keep them as far back as possible. So it's just working out so well here. But we've got over 5 minutes on the clock for RMIT right now, and we'll see what else is in store. Is now the point looks to push up. Balls trying to be activated for a Ninja here. See if they can manage to find anything else, but it's still going to be a challenging approach ahead.
Yeah, well, this is going to be one of those curious angles. We'll see what's going to be. There is going to be the Loki ult right now, and we haven't really seen ult too much. And there is going to be the ult just completely laid over, but look at this. RMIT laid them all out. They have just stacked the ults. They are completely just running through. Also, I guess one didn't really get much shots through. It was just the front says, nah, that's gonna be you. We're gonna quickly wipe you all out. We're just gonna completely lock you up. Looking to contest, get more than halfway through right here, and playing to the choke for in the end. But Tashi is gonna quickly find Osaragi because he was hovering a little bit too forward. And there is going to be the switch. Mason quickly go through with Storm, trying to get this one completely busted open. They do want to make more of a claim, trying to just buy some more time for themselves. And you can see Mason completely driving RMIT back.
Driving them back into a corner there, driving them against the wall, and we'll see if they are going to be able to break their way out. As we hold back here. Ari goes down, Nassenly good on the Storm there, trying to see if they can push ahead now. Down the little pylon there. Ready to approach this one with confidence. They do spot them in the skies there. Kari trying to creep up as well. Nassenly going to be the first one to fall there. Now more coming down. Domino effect in order here. The ult activated as well, doing a lot of damage here, trying their best to try and lock them out, and they will find Crescent as well. To see if anyone else is going to be isolated here. Helix in a very difficult situation. Good night to Helix. They are forcing them as far back as possible. RMIT have such freedom to push up right now. Their aggression is unmatched.
Yeah, you can see Tashi also switching onto the torch, just trying to wait for the ult right now, but I don't think the opportunity is going to be coming anytime soon, as they are both 54-59, and there's going to be another Punisher ult. Quickly, it's going to be looking to be blocking, and there is going to be MQU investing everything else that they can to throw this one back in. So Osaragi is going to get pushed back before the cap, and there is going to be the Invisible Woman also ulting right now, trying to just buy a little bit more time and supremacy. And now while this is happening, there's going to be a quick little bit of portal from RMIT. Smiles walking through, bring everyone back with Osaragi, and there is going to be the play. Tashi trying to get a little bit more down, but right now it's just a complete shutout. MQU hasn't found any matter of success when it comes to defense, minus the 1 point where Nathan was able to get this one through away. But you can see just how annoying this is. Kyrie comes in and he says, no worries, I got you exactly where I want it. Kill box set up and we will win.
They will win, and they will try and spin it forward as well. See if they can draw the sword on this one. Take it one step further here. Here Ninja, ready with the wall up front there, doing a great job of isolating line of sight. Eknovius goes down, looking to see if they can catch anyone else as well. Look at that, isolating the player, taking away the heals there. Helix is down. Nascenly tries to counter with Storm, doing damage, but no one's going down. It's just too much healing, and Nascenly gets countered in kind. RMIT leaving no one behind to shut down here.
That is rough. Kyra is just having the time of his life, DPSing like no tomorrow, shutting them out, and there is gonna be the final nail to the coffer. You can't even come out from your spawn. And Osaragi is like, oh, there's a Spider-Man. Let me quickly just do whatever I can. Let me do some target practice. And you can see it. He's going to quickly chuck his own ult out as well. You may not advance. And RMIT with a beautiful cap. 2 minutes and 35 left as well. Like, this is competitive stakes. There is just all the answers in the world for them. And now MQU has a lot to be thinking about, right? Obviously, we're one game apiece, but you have to completely cap in Shin Shibuya. Like, what is going to be the capture? You had RMIT just quickly rush out to the first point, and they didn't care. They didn't even stop. And, you know, they were able to shadow Technovius, and then from there, everything collapsed. MQU, at the second, might need to rethink what's going to be the tank strat, what's going to be the full showstopper to RMIT. And yeah, it has to be so aggressive.
Yeah, you got to be aggressive. You got to make sure you really bring yourself up to do the very best you can here, and we'll see if Macquarie are going to be able to do that right now as they have a heavy hill to climb. RMIT not making this one easy for them in the slightest. The targeted bans against Macquarie have come back to bite them here, and eager to see if they are going to be able to break through, because it's been such a challenge for them. But we'll see what this one is to bring now. 10 seconds to go. All teams, all engines started. And we are getting in to the game right now. It's time to get down to business. Tashi ready to hunt them down.
You can be looking too hard, but Punisher at that long distance, and look at that kill box. Straight up, you may not advance, and then if you do advance, you're gonna have to be dealing with a torch, you're gonna have to be dealing with the Punisher bullets, you're gonna have to be dealing with the Groot wall on top, and they can just keep on doing this to keep them out. And yes, there is gonna be the advance. Looking at Wolverine, right clicks, trying to get up, but it's gonna get grabbed instead. Passive does pop, but it's just too much DPS at this second. And MQU having a little bit of struggle trying to get to the point. They are being choked out as of this stage. Masonly also goes down, and there is just more walls cutting off their escape. They don't want them to go anywhere. They're saying, no, we want to keep you just adjusted all around. Masonly is going to quickly res himself as well. But you can see it. It's a very split up from MQU, and they are struggling to find a foothold.
Yeah, struggling to find a foothold, struggling to find even any way in. The walls are just so impenetrable. It almost feels like an impossible endeavor, and we'll see what is going to come from this now. The shots come through from Osaragi, trying to blast them away. Helix going to be blasting them away, however. It's going to be an absolute power haul from RMIT right now, but we'll see what Macquarie can do. Loki for Loki. Ult for ult right now, trying to get it done. And Ninja tucks them away. The fire coming through as well. Kari trying to free farm that damage. Does find Technovius, maybe more as well. Oh, Tashi so close to dead there. And they get it. They hunt it down. And now more follow. It's all unraveling here. Kari has destroyed them. Send them back to spawn and try again.
Oh man, MQU struggling to advance right there. It looked so good, but RMIT had all the answers. And Ninja quickly put up the group wall, and then on top, you had Kari just blasting them from the top and just completely playing it really well. And unchecked Human Torch is one of your worst things for pushing advancing enemy. And as this second is going to be popping through, Kari is still getting provided with a shield, setting up the right clicks, waiting to set up the full square, and there is going to be the final play. It feels like MQU, they've had enough, and they say, we want to go forward, and Aki quickly unleashes, and there's Tashi is staring at it, but there's not going to be anything else that he can finish, and there is going to be the defensive balls coming through. There is still plenty of danger all around. MQU's backline being blasted completely right here, and there is nothing else that they can be doing. And you can see it, Smiles still going through. They suddenly quickly put up the res. They say this is going to be the final chance. 1 minute left onto the clock. Things are looking dire.
Looking dire, but does not stifle their desire for victory. And we'll see who's going to be able to take it right now. Smiles holding on to the point here. Ult available for Air Ninja as well. Ready to see if they are going to be locking that one down. The shots come through. Magneto trying as well, but it's the big ult coming through. They are locked out and annihilated. Oh my gosh, Em. It's just terrifying.
Oh boy. 43 seconds left onto the clock. One final chance. And you can see Kari immediately recognizing that, just jumps to the spawn and starts laying out as much right clicks as he can. And there is gonna be the portal coming through. Crescently instantly chucking the ult down, and they want to play keep away. One final attempt to get this one in. Technovius is gonna take down Osaraki from the outside. This may be what they were looking for. And Smiles is going to be here trying to get a little bit more of a choke going through nascently, just to tune up that both down. That's all the supports. How much more can they be doing right now? Crescently is still alive. He is trying to just set up the runes, but he's going to get singled out. No more clones left. And there's also the shutout. He does not get to play or heal. And he gets taken down by Elk at the back. Kari unchallenged in the air. The superiority does fly in, and OT now ends.
It now ends, and it is all over. Just like that, RMIT send Macquarie packing. Incredible result. What a huge reversal we see from RMIT there, and I cannot believe it. Map 1 looked a bit more competitive, but once RMIT locked in, they locked in darn good. And they will be our victors here this evening in the first match of the night. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at that. The reversal definitely complete. You can see Kari in 22.6k damage, followed by Osaragi with that 20k. I think the biggest one that really made the haymaker right there is Air Ninja and Smiles completely with their layered ults in the beginning. Right, because MQU's playstyle funneled more towards a more packing kind of a play order, it was just completely shut out right after, and then Kari untouched, unchecked, flying to the air and away from the eyes of Technovius. There was nothing that was gonna touch this man. And then right after that, you know, from the push, he shut out nascently on the Human Torch and also on the Storm support. It's just so hard, you know, when you come and have that kind of a momentum going, and then right after you're trying to struggle to find, all right, you know, what can we do with the situation? And then right after that, it's like, all right, I switch once, I switch twice, you know, the team switch with me, trying to find this one. And yeah, it was just RMIT saying, okay, you might try to find this, but we're still gonna steam ahead.
That's right, steam ahead, and we'll see how they perform in the rest of the season. But for now, Emp, we'll get things prepared. We are just going to head to a quick BRB. Hello, welcome back, everybody, to the AEL University Elite Series Marvel Rivals with Matzy and Emperor ZK. And what a first match we've had tonight. Incredible stuff. Macquarie, RMIT take the W and do it in style. But you know what else is in style? We got the birthday boy here. It's Smiles!
It's not even my birthday. I don't know what propaganda chat is spreading, but it's not even close to my birthday.
Well, even if it's not your birthday, you got a hell of a present, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
That is true. That is true. It was a pretty good match tonight, I must say.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It was really exciting to watch as well. I'm sure you guys got some great clips out of that one, yourself in particular. I'm sure there's at least a few in there. But nah, coming into that matchup, I guess what changed between map 1 and the rest? Like, what led to that full reversal?
Map 1, the Macquarie's ban strategy was, I'll say, very unique. We hadn't really rehearsed around that kind of ban structure and where we wanted to go with our bans. And it kind of left us a little confused for where to play. But after we had kind of got that down pat after our first game, we restructured how we wanted to ban things and who we wanted to play, and were able to just get back into our rhythm. Little hiccup, but we locked back in.
That's fair enough. You actually look really good coming through, and obviously, congrats on the win. 2-1 reversal onto MQU. That's also lock you guys in for the playoffs coming through to all the teams. The top two. Who
playoffs secured?
Who are you more looking forward, or more in contention to be facing off on the top two?
The top two. I'm excited. I'm excited to verse them both again. Get our rematches back in, because we're a lot better of a team now than we were at the start. We've come a long way, I think, and I think not just the UTS match, but even the Monash match might be an interesting watch too.
I reckon it's going to be fun times ahead, and yeah, keen to see whichever direction that's going to go, to be honest. But we'll see more about them later tonight. We will. But now I guess jumping into those further matches as well. Well, what were you guys thinking in terms of your bans? Because it seemed like the bans were very targeted towards some more of the higher impact players on the Macquarie side there.
Yep. So we did not successfully ban trips in the domination map, which was not ideal for us, as we kind of got a little, redirected with some of their protects. But we kind of had the forethought to ignore that, prioritizing bans like Adam again and a few others, as well as some traditional target bans to try and keep the match to a comp that's more favorable to us as well. Like we're keeping the cap out of the field and whatnot. But yeah, it was in that kind of redirecting of it and an idea for what comp we wanted to run that we were able to get out. Start holding our ground properly.
Fair enough. And do you feel like tonight's performance is an indicator of where you guys has practiced and he's worked it well towards the final few weeks now? Like, do you feel like today's result, especially after map number 1, is exactly where you guys have practiced to?
Yeah, well, we felt so well tonight with how we played. Our comms are so clean now. We have good comms from every one of our team members, all contributing to it. We have combos that are just natural synergy at this point with a lot less communication than they needed prior. The flow of our team, we kind of aggro simultaneously, back up simultaneously, have plans ready for different situations we've been in place for. And in map 2 and 3, we saw a lot more of that. And that felt really good to pull out.
No, great to hear, honestly. And I think that, yeah, you've definitely done a great job tonight. And as you alluded towards before, congrats on making the playoffs, mate. You guys deserve it. You've worked hard for it. And
thank you.
You've done it.
Yeah, we're there. Woo!
Yeah.
Thank God.
Right. Happy birthday.
All this hard work, playoff secured.
Yeah. Nah, great stuff. And yeah, keen to see you guys there. But for now, congrats again, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And Emp, great way to kick off the evening tonight. First match locked down, and we have another one on its way very soon. It's going to be a fun one ahead of us. I am absolutely sure of that. I reckon it could be even UOM taking on UNSW, if I'm not mistaken. So, Ev, how do you feel about that one?
I guess I'm just ready for the action. I feel like I get more out of this when it comes down to the pick and bans more than anything else. But before we do go to that UOM, we have Swaggy, Isaac, Triple X, Razor, Arcanum, Frank, No Yumi, and Cyclone. On the side of UNSW, you have Muffin, Rez, Frost, Nova, Assassin Main, and Lick. So yeah, I think UOM last week did have a fantastic game, but I think at the end they were just closely losing it. But more than anything, I'm looking forward to see what else they have on the table. Meanwhile, on UNSW, they also had a pretty much good time, but for now, the way of state of things in Marvel Rivals is, yes, it depends on your team's synergy and stuff, but I'm more curious about the setups, right? In the first map that we already got, the first match, everyone spoke about, how they pick and ban, how we go around and evolve our strategies and general aggro state and when we should be going through it. I feel like communication is probably the biggest key to come through. But that's exactly what I see as of now. But how about you, Matzy? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I reckon as the weeks go on, things are getting much more evolutionary. But speaking of evolutionary, we're jumping into the evolutionary phase of our game. It is pick ban time on Royal Palace. The domination map coming through. Star-Lord going to be the first one locked out here. And UOM now has their chance to take the torch here. See, who will they extinguish out of the roster? As they have not long to pick, and it's going to be nobody. Or maybe it is something, but we'll get confirmation on that soon. Still, first pick coming out right now, Amp. Eager to see what that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be leaving everything open for, for the air to be picked, right? You don't have to be locking down, you don't have to be banning away if you don't choose to, but Magneto being picked here means that they do want less bans to be coming through for both sides. So definitely leaving it up to the side of UNSW. So they say, all right, well, the first one, we are going to be locking down a Psylocke coming in. Next one, it could still be a targeted ban, it could be a DPS ban, it could be a tank ban, because you do have one lockdown. Could be, it was okay, well, looks like it was supposed to be Wolverine ban, but Emma Frost is going to be banned, and Wolverine has been confirmed, has been banned.
Yeah, going to be a confirmation there. So good to see that one is going to be locked out. Emma Frost are going to be the next one locked out as well. But who's next? Who is going to be Invisible Woman? Is who it's going to be. So interesting to see, I suppose, a support band out there. Very different to what we've seen so far, but you know what we are seeing again. Presence on the Groot. We saw a lot of that in the last matchup here, and now that is going to be a solidified pick. They can pick that at their leisure here, and eager to see what the next one will be.
Yeah, following through a group pick is always going to be good. But there is going to be that agency throwing around a Bucky, which I don't disagree with, because it's not a high impact ban here. Like, if you do lock it, it's great. But if you don't lock it, it's not too bad, because hardly any team want to ban out a Bucky. They rather be dealing with it as well. And there is going to be the focus onto the DPS. So 2 DPS ban followed with a tank ban from the side of UNSW, saying that this is exactly how we want to be centering around our comp. You're going to have to sit on something that doesn't have as much of a damage coming through. But then again, if we do come to look at this, there's still plenty that they can be playing in for the side of UOM, and they are going to be support banning. So 2 support bans and a Wolverine ban. It means only one thing, right? You're going to be looking at plays from Adam Warlock. You're going to be looking at Loki's coming through. And I guess UOM is happy with that kind of a setup. On the side of UNSW, might not be the same kind of a story, because yeah, not playing Lunar Snow, Invisible Woman. I feel like sometimes they're like, the shiny Pokemon that you do find in every DPS just completely like runs them down with. It's not the different kind of a setup that they want to be going through. But nevertheless, it is still going to be a very tough time for them to get in because SW does have that Groot and the Doctor Strange. So we'll see how like this one just shapes up.
Yeah, we'll see how things shape up here. 30 seconds for prep and ready to get this one taken up a notch. And you gotta see exactly what this match is going to turn into here. Maybe we'll have some more birthdays at the end of this, Emp. You never know what's going to be in store with a fun match like the ones we have in AEL. And you're going to see what's going to go down right now as it all comes down to a head here. Mission area unlocking in 30 seconds, and our team steaming out of spawn and ready to get down to business here. Firing up. Going to be holding back.
Yeah, there is going to be the initial. And you can see it, UAM does have the team up. We're going to have some more Gamma Squid coming through, and I am a personal fan. And of course, there's going to be the high ground taken on the side of UOM, UNSW. They're going to be sticking onto the ground first. As of now, there is going to be everything invested. The jump in, it's a little bit crazy from Cyclone, but he is going to be trying to play into that bait. And as he is going to be reverting back into Bruce Banner, Razor Arcanum gets taken down, over from the side. It's going to be funny for the off angle. There is going to be the Reza as well. You can see just how fast Never want to go in, and now recognizes the position that he was in and says, all right, no, this is not something that I can go and finish anything else. So there is going to be Cyclone just charging up his ult to turn back into the Hulk once again. In the meantime, one of the biggest difference here is that UNSW, they are holding firmly to the cap point and they are denying entry.
Yeah, access denied. Time and time again. Dance of the Butterfly comes out there. Good usage in the back line. Frank the Smoke says good night. Swaggy as well following suit there, taking out the pylon. And now forced deep out of the point here. UNSW managing to build things up. Looking to hold it down for a while longer. We'll see how they go as we advance towards the 50th percentile now. Good staggered pick on the Cyclone 10-12 as well. They are going to be able to hold them off a while longer here. So UOM in a bit of a tough spot here. And we'll see if they can manage to find a way out.
This could be a little bit of a problem. UOM now not being able to insert any of the DPS is going to be a tough one, and especially you go in and then your exit is cut out, and there is going to be the rocket ult as well. They are going to be trading support ults, trying to fight the agency, trying to make sure that they can bring in Resident Arcanum, still holding on to his ult as well. Can be looking, there is going to be Swaggy taking out Frost. It's a nice little bit of angle DPS, but that, I am Agamotto with the Groot ult as well layered on top. It's just wreaking havoc around the battlefield here, and UOM is crumbling under it.
Crumbling under the pressure, and there seems to be no way through. Razor Arcanum shot out there, and their team looking to fall back as well. 2% is down to none. UOM cannot get anywhere near this point right now. And the throne room will be locked down by UNSW onto Odin's Archive and maybe the Bifrost Garden after. But Royal Palace already heating up for UOM right now. I mean, for UNSW right now. We'll see if UOM can make it heat up heading into this next sector now. They've switched up their picks here. You can see Thor coming out, Moon Knight. Cloak and Dagger looking all a little bit different. But we'll see if this is going to be the changes they need to pull ahead.
Yeah, I kind of agree with this kind of a switch. If you can't really make things work, then don't try on the second one, right? Especially if you have to give up a little bit of agency in the beginning. You need that consistency to blast out the top. Punisher switch here for Swaggy, I fully agree, because the front was just untouchable and UOM was unable to get any bit of space, and then the wall also stopped all their advances, so definitely something that they're gonna have to be dealing with. UNSW meanwhile don't have to be doing the greatest amount of anything else. They've got 4 ults, most likely will be leading and taking the aggressive front really early and say, if you do advance onto the side, we're just going to quickly lock you down and wipe you. So definitely something UOM going to have to be weary about. Anytime the ult comes through, it's just going to be them holding on to the rest of the ult. And you can see it. Cyclone gets taken down. And Nova at the front just aims both support down. The DPS also low. Everyone is at the back, uncontesting, not touching the assassin from behind. And that is a huge Psylocke value.
Major value coming through there, and we'll see if they are going to be able to get a bit of a deeper control. And now it's UNSW. Stroll ahead. Spread their reach even further now. Oh, Nova ready, takes them down. Their teammates lock in. Rez is down. Good trade coming out from No You Me, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, what a hook there from Assassin Man. Debuting tonight. And they will put up one hell of a fight there. Amazing stuff. But let's see what else they can do now as they hold on for dear life here. And there's still more to be achieved.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was afraid of. You advance, UNSW just starts pressing ults, and they still do have 2 support ults. And UOM, meanwhile, are looking to insert theirs. And while they are pushing and successful, Muffin jumps in with the Eye of AGON from the side, but Nova gets taken down. That's what the butterfly is going to be quickly invested. Not too much should be coming through from the side of UNSW, as only one player go down. But you can see UOM is really wanting this. They really want to just go in, and Frank gets a nice double kill, and they finally push the rest of UNSW away. It's just going to be Muffin, and Nova is going to be on the side and quickly has to wait and retreat.
Yeah, going to have to fall back out of that one, and we'll see. They can get another chance at it now. UOM, good to hold on to the point for a while longer, but UNSW still so close to the edge here. UOM have to work hard for this one, maintain this choke point, try and make use of those ultimates to really put some hard work in. Speaking of, Phantom Butterfly comes out, Rocket's already down. Oh my gosh, all the supports are going down, and it just gets unraveled within moments there. UNSW, armed and dangerous, and managed to take the point back. UOM were good for it for a second, but it's not long enough. So UNSW going to be holding on for dear life here.
And that was a little bit of a rough one. Swaggy did try to set up a turret in the beginning, but then right after, when everything all fell down, it just fell apart. There is going to be the portal from the side of UOM. You can see Isaac quickly dashes out with his ult, and everything is going to be thrown by. Oh, Muffin jumps up, just instantly finding the Loki here. Really wants to take the backline away from the play. They say if you do want to come forward, get ready to just be completely outnumbered here. You want to scale? There's no scale. The Groot ult does pull in the Magneto and the support Isaac here, and there's nothing else that they can be doing. Muffin also trying to just shut this one down, and No You Me gets denied as well. It is just going to be the cap coming in. UNSW showing dominance in the first map.
And that's going to be map 1, locked and loaded for UNSW there. Going to be taking a sweet victory, but this is only the beginning of the series, and Nova going to be taking the MVP. Great stuff from them. Really admired some of the dance of the butterflies coming through from them. Were able to get locked in, and it was especially amazing to see what they were able to achieve in the back lane there. But we've still got more ahead of us, Em. We've still got more fun on the horizon here, and eager to see if UOM are going to be able to lock it down again, as they need to really try their best here. UOM take one map, even this up, but we'll see what's in store for us. It's going to be one hell of a game, Eb. If we have similar momentum there, UOM's hopes are lost to dust.
Yeah, I think on to the next map, right? The biggest problem in that one is the backline completely locked away by Nova. Nova just goes through, takes both support, which is huge value from the Dance of the Butterfly. Just that one ult destroys everything, and then right after that, everyone's thinking, where's the backline? How's everyone dead? Oh, hang on a second. we have a Psylocke wrecking havoc at the back, and we don't have enough to be centered around into the front. And then it was just value. Investing one ult for the backline, I think is worth, right? And then you get anything else, it's just an absolute bonus. And then on the side of UOM, I guess, it's just what's going to happen to the next pick and ban, right? We saw the Groot being very effective. We've seen the Strange very effective on Muffin. Nova being absolutely a menace into the back. So I'll be interested to see if they're going to be, just completely targeting away and banning those options off the table. If not, then they're going to have to come up with a different strat.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to have to find a way to adapt around it, because if they aren't, then they're just going to crumble, right? And we'll see how things go down heading in to this next one. As it is, the pick band's already locked down. A Star-Lord and a Psylocke taken out. They don't want to see Nova pick that one up again. Fair enough after what we saw in that first map. But let's see what their first picks are going to be now. UNSW, first one in the driver's seat, Lockdown, Invisible Woman. We did see that one banned out in the last map, so now it's going to be opening the gates there. And Ella is going to be locked in as well, so dangerous picks to come through here. But now it's time for some more bans.
Yeah, I think getting Hela for the trade of Invisible Woman, I think that's the one you're just gonna have to take with grace, because there is just so much setups that you can be looking, but a more staple and the fastest bullet in the game, you'd rather take that instead. So Emma Frost being taken away, I think I can respect that kind of a ban thought process coming through from UOM that said, well, we can go with the traditional tanks, but Emma Frost, if it does get laid out with a Groot in the beginning, that's not something that we want to be dealing with. Meanwhile, Muffin not being banned out here is going to quickly get Magneto out of here, which means that, most of the things are still pretty much open, and he's going to lock down the Strange. Now, puts it back onto UOM. Whether you ban out Scarlet Witch, that's up to you, but then if you are going to be hovering around Nova and just trying to keep him out, away from it, what else can you do? Because this is your final pick, your final ban. If you say, all right, we pick, say for example, Human Torch, and then we want to ban out a tank, right? You're going to have to be angling towards the Groot as well. But then since there's just going to be Agamotto out to the front, might not be necessary. So they are going to lock away the Lunar Snow. It means that the pivot is going to be the final DPS, and that's going to be the bucket that was still causing somewhat of a synergy play coming in from UNSW. We did see plenty of kills did come out. The damage was great, and the reverse is going to be the Wolverine. So the front is going to be pretty safe. Both sides is going to have tanks that's going to be sticking around for a very long time.
Yeah, they're going to be sticking it through, and eager to see how both these teams pull ahead here. You see the picks already evolving. We've got Doctor Strange come through, Lunar Snow, Hela, Invisible Woman, Groot, and possibly Moon Knight on UNSW. For UOM, Invisible Woman, Loki, The Thing, Hela, Hawkeye, and Groot. So, only slight differences between the two compositions, to be honest, and eager to see who's going to be able to come out on top of this one. I do like to see the Hawkeye pick come through there, because if they can stack up the damage in the right places, especially comboed with Hela, this could work out really well for UOM. But, in saying that, the confidence we saw from UNSW in that first map, it's going to be a heavy hill to climb here, and very curious to see who's going to be able to land the first blow.
Yeah, agreed right there. I'm a little bit worried for UOM pushing through. Obviously, if we do see the Groot and Doctor Strange in the beginning paired up with the Moon Knight, it's just going to be all farmed up, and they're going to be setting up a really quick stun and waiting for everything else, so you could be really dangerous. But in the meantime, UOM, they do have the Thing as well, can just quickly charge up out to the front, get himself as much DPS as possible. But I've got to be careful though. Razor Arcanum not getting the heals in time. It's going to quickly fall. Swaggy also been taken down. It's just that fast DPS comes through. No Yumi was looking at the off angle, and there was a little bit of a disjoint coming through, and you can see UOM now going for the adjustment. Thor comes out for Razor Arcanum, and which means that he is going to be opting onto the side angle, trying to find anything onto the back, push Muffin off the point. it could just be looking to set up that kind of agency, but the DPS is still remaining pretty close on the UNSW. They've recognized that thought they come out, and it's just so much being farmed out.
Yeah, so much being farmed out and so much being pushed up here. Muffin trying to hold back on the point right now. Choke point in a disarray here. As UOM desperately clamor around to try and creep up on this one, but they aren't able to gain much ground just yet. UNSW, a big thorn in their side, maybe not for much longer. Swaggy, cheeky pick around the side there, but UNSW creeping up around the corners and shutting down the rest of the team.
You gotta be a little bit careful right there, as you are gonna be stacking, especially Loki around. You can see Nova recognizing exactly what to do there. Just leave them alone for a little bit and then start shooting all the clones as soon as he runs out of space and doesn't have anyone in his crosshair. And yes, there's going to be ults all around. There's already going to be 4 coming out, or 5 on the side of UOM. And it'll be interesting to see what angle they're going to be able to achieve right here. There is going to be the quick one. And then on top, UNSW now, a little bit of a low one. There is going to be some ults that can be invested by Reza Arcanum. Just jumping forward, too aggressive, gets taken out. There is going to be the AGON coming from the back, but there is still going to be a kill. Doesn't matter if you have an ult. If I have everything charged up, I will be playing into it. That's exactly what the statement UOM needs to make if they wish to capture that first point.
Let's see if they can manage it. Here we go. BkWhatOCE comes out. A great time to activate. And the ults coming out in droves right now, trying to shut down Hella here. No You Me doing the best they can. Does manage to find Nova there. Will be able to pull off maybe a bit more as well. Bringing Reza Arcanum back with the passive. Going to be good. We'll see if they can find it more as well, as it's another Hella ultimate coming out from Assassin Main. Find a Swaggy there. Try and hold them back a while longer here. Definitely garnering some attention as well. They're trying to lock down these high impact kills. Doctor Strange in a bit of trouble. And they do get shut down eventually. Loki now falling. Everyone falling down. So, UNSW, good hold for now. But it's time for UOM to strike back again.
Yeah, right there, when you have No Yumi quickly taking out a kill right there, there is going to be a res on Isaac. And even though you're still relatively close into the first point into your home spawn, it's still going to be a boo. Oh, that was unfortunate. Reza Arcanum gets taken down and gets pulled back as he was trying to pull away. And Muffin just goes forward and says, you're not going to be able to shoot. So Swaggy gets taken down eventually by the Hella. And Assassinate doing tons of DPS right now, pulling in the works. And you can see Muffin confidently walking through, managing the negative energy as well, knows exactly when to unleash it, and it's just cutting them off. You can see it. There is plenty of cut-off rest. Quickly takes down Reza Arcanum. Both the front, the tanks are dead, then the Grudo does get layered. Isaac gets taken down. But it's just UOM not finding a foothold.
Yeah, are going to be able to push it through there. So, a great hold from UNSW in order to keep them on their toes. And it really minimizes the distance that they're going to have to cover coming into this attacking phase of their own here. Very curious to see how that one's going to eventuate. Ooh, could we see a Black Panther come through? Nova thinking about it. Don't know if it's going to lock in, but maybe. Muffin going to be looking to push in the Penny Parker. Nova just toying with us at this point. Thinking about Black Panther. I'm keen to see it. I think everyone watching might be keen to see it too, maybe. Could be today. Black Widow as well. Here we go. It's locked in, Emp. A very different comp on the attack side.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Let us see some spear runs. Connect those spears and just run. Like, I'll be a massive fan. You'll have gained a massive fan right now if you pull this one off. But obviously, don't overly play your hand because you're sitting in a great place. I will say, UOM right now definitely need to adjust something. They need to completely keep them out. This is a tough position to be in, right? When you can't capture the first point and you're stuck on the threshold in the first corner, it's one of those things where you sort of just like sigh and be like, okay, let's try to do something else. Let's try to get a little bit of difference coming through. And you can see it. Plenty of different kind of a starting. You can see the backline from UOM. They don't want to deal too much over it, but Nova on top. Spear, red, yeah, the E, turning it around, forces the runes to come from Loki. That's already the cooldown that you don't want to be seeing gone from the defending side. Muffin obviously walking forward a little bit too hard as well, knows exactly when to be stopping, cutting down Razor Arcanum's health bars. He's sort of stuck, but he's still going to be healed. And at this stage, it's just going to be momentum. Nova is going to get taken out, Frost and everyone else at the back. And you can see UOM, they say, we are not going to let you play this game just yet.
No, not going to let them play that game, and they will be taken down. So a great way to keep themselves alive a while longer, and let's see if they can manage to do it again. UNSW still got work to do if they want to get it over the line. They've already covered more than half the distance here, but there's still plenty more they can do to try and achieve the rest. Let's see how it all goes down now. As the fight begins, UNSW jump in. The damage is grand, but the defense is grander.
Oh, and there is going to be Swaggy popping his ult as well. He's going to quickly catch Nova, and that's exactly the target you want to be shutting down really quick, and he is going to quickly jump through. Looking at the rest, gets complete agency on it, and he will take that. Meanwhile, UOM has edged out a little bit of a confidence right here as they are just blocking the side entrance. Razor Arcanum also going to be pushed out just off now. Gotta be careful though. Muffin does have the ult. They are going to be layering with Res, and then that's going to be the one to wipe him out. I think they're just looking at the angle. There's going to be the angle, and they are looking. The defensive ult is going to be coming through. Where are we going to be seeing? And you can see the defensive ult thrown just in the front of it, but Frank is going to get taken down. Razor Arcanum next. Looking at the fundamentals, everyone's just going to get taken by this complete wombo, and the rest of UOM gets wiped out here. UNSW completes their capture.
Incredible stuff coming through there. UNSW get the job done, taking 2 maps in such confident fashion. Definitely great to see their efforts pay off there. Lick going to be the one taking the MVP this time. Definitely played solid for their team there. And eager to see what will come through as we get deeper into the season as well. Definitely a fun matchup there, Amp, and love to see what's going to come after this one.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at UNSW's team composition, they actually got the layer, and the way that they picked their team composition, it was very fluid, and the way they thought and the process on layering the ults was really good. On the side of UOM though, it felt like it's a little bit of a lackluster firepower. Yes, they were able to get some really nice picks here and there, but I felt like there wasn't enough consistency when it came down to damage. Onto the reverse onto UNSW. They found some key plays in the beginning. Razor Arcanum finally locking them out with Cyclone, but on the attacking side, when they did attack, they weren't able to find anything else right after, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons that UOM didn't really get too much of a pushing in the beginning. They were trying to hope that yes, there's going to be a little bit of this and that. If I can get a nice pick and the damage is already there, there's going to be too much pressure, and that's going to create the room on the side of my pushing tanks. But it didn't go that way, especially since Muffins was very, very knowledgeable when it comes down to when to clean and cutting to the quarter, and then at the same time just completely cutting it out.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting time ahead, hasn't it, Amp? And definitely eager to see what else is going to be on the horizon here. It was great to see Assassin main make their debut here as well. They played, I'd say, pretty well for their team, because I don't think we've seen them before. So great to see that they are able to really pull through and play well for their team there. But curious to see, I suppose, the depth of picks that are going to be able to make their way through heading forward into the rest of the evening as well. And I think we've definitely got a good diverse split.
Yeah, it's very diverse. We got to see a Black Panther. That Black Panther onto the pick, I was like, yes, finally. We're gonna see some stuff from Nova. See how fast we're gonna get the spirit rents and see if we have enough. It was pretty close to killing. And I will say that's as close as you can get when it comes down to personal targeting. and Know You Me was sort of like, already angling towards it, so it does finish him off and deny it. But yeah, that's it's always good to see.
Absolutely. Always good to see there, and always good to see our players doing the very best they can, I think that yeah, we've had a great outcome so far, Imp, and I'm very eager to see what else is going to be on the horizon for the rest of our games tonight as well. I think, we've got good times ahead. Good times indeed. I liked how I think we saw Penny Parker come out for a second there, if I'm not mistaken. So great to see some of those picks come through as well. But we'll we'll see how things go down. I think maybe we could see some more diverse picks just like it come through throughout the rest of the night. But you never know. I'm feeling pretty cold after that last matchup there, and who better to talk to about that than Frost?
Hi guys.
Welcome, welcome. Congratulations on the win, mate. You guys played really well, and I got to say, coming into the match, were you worried at all?
To be honest, I was just very nervous that we wouldn't make it into quarterfinals, but I'm really glad that we 2-0'd them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like you guys had a really good performance on map number 1, and then obviously map number 2 they started hovering towards the target bands to your carries, and then right after you guys just hovered into a different strategy, which seemed to work really flawlessly as well. Was that pretty much what you guys were like centering your strategies when you came down to tonight?
Yeah, because thing is, our team is compromised of 3 tank players, so if we were just like mainly banking on that one of our tank carries would not be banned. So yeah.
No, that's good, and obviously your gamble paid off there. And I guess playing into the picks and bans there, was there anything that you really wanted to, I suppose, not see from your opponent?
Honestly, because in all of those games we weren't planning on banning Torch or Iron Fist. So if any of those characters went through, we might have had like a serious issue. Because, yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough. So, we got confirmation. Obviously, you guys winning tonight, it means 2-0. Also means locking down into the semis. Now, here's the question, right? Because you guys will be facing off against the first seed. How do you guys feel about that?
Honestly, wait. Has it been announced what the first seed will be?
No, not yet.
Find out at
you will find out
10 p.m.
Okay. We might have some serious issues because a lot of our players are going on like leave for temporarily, and it might cause some serious issues with our team. But we're just hoping that we'll get at least like 3rd place or something close to that.
Well, we'll see what that turns into, May the best team win, and keen to see whether you'll be facing off against Monash or UTS. We'll find out that result later. But yeah, congrats on the big win once again. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, Frost, and keen to see you guys again soon.
Yeah. Thanks.
Here we go. Great to have one of our players come through again there. Amp, always a pleasure. And keen to see what the next match is going to bring very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the AEL University Elite Series. Matzi and Emperor Zike back at it again with more action-packed thrills and keen to get straight into that. But before we get into that, Emp, I think it's time. It's time once again to talk about our sponsors. So, first and foremost, a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all of the needs. But Emp, it's getting to that time of night again. I'm feeling a bit peckish. I need someone who I can rely on. And who might that be?
Well, look no further than Indomie, the noodle partner made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au.
Big shout out to both of our wonderful sponsors as always. But before we get into it, let's take a look at our standings. As you can see here, Emp, updated. We do have our top 2 teams fighting it off later tonight. But 3rd and 4th place are looking a lot more solidified. As you can see, we've got Monash, UTS, RMIT, and UNSW.
Yeah, obviously seeing half of them play already determine what's going to be happening on their seeding. And of course, right now, the only ones that we have is the top 2 and the bottom 2 teams duking it out. QUT, Swinburne, currently still at the bottom, waiting for their first win. We'll see what's going to be happening. And then, of course, on the side of the top, Monash and UTS later is still going to be an absolute banger. But more than anything else, I want to see what's going to be the final day worth of contentions. Obviously, if you play for the first 6 weeks and you haven't really got yourself the ultimate win, you might just be looking to contest one finally. So it's going to be Swinburne versus QUT.
That's it. Swinburne versus QUT, the battle of the gods. Who will be taking away here? We've got Sai, Lufa, John Clefine, Kaguya, Golomir, Tina. And for QUT, we have Scamazon, Aradet, Jay, No Toast for You, Awesome, and Cooney Bro. Definitely keen to see who's going to be able to find their first victory out of these 2 teams. I've been hyping them up through all these weeks of competition here. And finally, one of them has to win tonight.
Yeah, definitely. One of them is going to have to do it. It's going to be that domination in the beginning. We love to see it. And of course, both sides, if they've been watching the matches from the beginning, we already played this map. We already know what's going to be the setup, or potentially what's also good for the team pick up, the bans, the whatever meta that's going to be swing to the team strategy. I'm really interested to see what they have to be bringing into this contention week, because one of them is going to walk away with a win and the other one is going to be sitting on no wins. Obviously, you don't want to beat that one. You want at least one to take away from this. But obviously, the more important thing here is when the pick a ban comes alive. Like, I'm so interested to see what they want to start with.
We're going to find that out right now as we jump straight into it. The ban phase begins. And it's QUT to begin here. Who will they pick? That's going to be the big question. As they hold on to it. And Cap is gone. But who's next, I wonder? Who's going to be on the chopping block? Is it Emma Frost? Seen that one before. Maybe it could be something a little more obscure. Let's see. What is it meant to be here as the time trickles through closer and closer? And it's Lunar Snow.
Okay, well, if it's going to be a Lunar Snow ban right off the bat, it means that they are going to try to lock away all the support options. You might come through with a secondary support man into the mid as well, as they are going to be picking up a Loki. Now, banning away Loki or picking the Loki first means that most of your support play does come for the copy power. And so if QT does respond in kind and lock away another support, you could just be playing into the worst alliance, because obviously if they pick Rocket here and ban a support, that could be a devastating option. And so they are going to be locking down the Punisher, probably poking into a response from Swinburne. So this next man will be quite interesting, because if they say, all right, you know what? If you're going to be locking down and playing and centering around to locking down that support, we're going to be happy to consistently poke at the front. Punisher going through is a huge one. They are going to quickly go for the meta pick here. They say we don't want to be dealing with the Human Torch because that's still a little bit too much of support into the air. It's too much of a keep away, especially coming into domination. And I can respect that. But yeah, the rest of it depends on what Swinburne has to do right now. And they are going to be banning the safest option here, which is going to be the Rocket.
Yeah, I think that definitely is going to be a pretty safe option there, but we do have Magneto coming in for the pick there, and eager to see what the last pick will be. UT pondering their options right now, trying to see. It will be Invisible Woman this time around. So last two bands are going to be locked in here. Will we see a more targeted band here? Will we see something more stock standard? Both teams have the opportunity to seal the deal on a pick each. And it's now their time to reach in and figure out exactly who they want to get rid of. Oh, there it is. Targeted band. I think it could be Spider-Man. No Way Home.
I guess when this is just going to be one of those picks that is very favored on the opposite side, it's good that you are going to be betting it away, but it's also one of those that you sort of like play into because the DPS is not enough, it's not consistent enough onto a map like Domination. Grabbing your opponent out with Spidey is not the strongest option as well because the spacing to get there is too far. So the more ban in the end could just be the handshake that says, all right, well, if the target ban is going to be like that and we do play into that kind of a composition, we don't want to deal with the potential how you're doing team up because we didn't go to the option of Bruce Banner. And the locks coming through on the side of Swinburne, Mr. Fantastic, which we saw last week, coming through with Star-Lord, 3 supports with the Magneto at the front. Swinburne is just going to be looking to play into that control because you do have Mr. Fantastic, who is quite bulky and gets completely busted with the Mentis buff. On the side of QUT, you do have the stock standard, you have the 2-2-2. It's a more traditional setup. They can consistently DPS and outpoke you, especially looking at Scamazon. But then again, Scamazon might just be having the time of his life, building up the ult and just harassing that backline. So we'll see what's going to be on their mind and how he plays out.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to be on their minds here, and we'll see how they are going to be. Pressing up into the point now as both teams look to approach this one with confidence. They got the Penny Parker available. Great to see the Lions ahead. And they get in position here. The egg is out. Let's see how things go as we jump in. It's time for the onslaught here. The mission area now unlocked. QUT, good control over the point, looking to lock it in, but Blooper Dooper going to be the first one to fall there. Swinburne already down by 1, but we'll see if they're going to be able to bring themselves back as Tina goes down. Uh-oh, Blooper Dooper comes back, but Kaguya goes down, so everything's not working out for Swinburne right now. QUT locking it in.
Yeah, that's one of those parts that you should be very, very scared of. And just as I was calling it out, yes, it's great. Jocelyn Fang is going to be the one that's going to be almost invincible at the front. But you're looking at Kaguya and Blooper Dooper to be buffed consistently and to pull those DPS out. And as you are trying to balance all your healers to get all of that through, your Soulbound comes in. After Soulbound, everything else is going to be poked into consistent damage from the back and the front. It makes it almost impossible to be playing around with. And so Aaron is sitting in on a turret, and there is gonna be the Spider-Man gets taken out eventually, but Scamazon picks up Blooper Dooper onto the advance, cuts them off. So the group will also working wonders. Kaguya looking for the damage, but there is nothing in front of him to really hit, and the ults are already ready on the side of QT to completely blast this one down. And just look at how much he is piling in, and Kaguya barely tries to go away, but they're all gonna get reset.
Yeah, that's a hard reset if I've ever seen one there. Scamazon locking it down as well. 4 ultimates, almost 5, available for QUT there. So they have a big deck stacked here. They're ready to activate those cards at any possible moment. Swinburne, they got a few pieces available as well, but is it going to be enough to keep them in action here? We'll see. Big ult coming through there. Groot trying to immobilize them. Only does so much, however. Here comes the slam dunk. Jonkler Fiend bringing it back. Taking down Loki there. Dance of the Butterfly comes out as well. Though find Tina and Jonkler Fiend. But they're brought straight back by side there. Great stuff from Sky, and we'll see. They can manage more. Dance of the Butterfly comes out from a Golem as well. And there's more to come, as it is going to be Kudibro using their ult, trying to keep this point alive. Galactic comes out from Blooper Dooper here as well, but the kills are just too impressive, so the shots aren't doing enough. Another Dance of the Butterfly comes through from Jalen. And they will be locked out. OT timer coming on through. Swinburne trying to stop them, but it's just not enough. QUT take the first section of the Royal Palace. Odin's Archive, see you later. It's on to the throne room. And QUT want to take that throne for their own.
Yeah, that was rough. On the side of Swinburne, they had a plan. They were trying their best to angle it towards Kaguya, but then right afterwards, it just didn't work out. You had your supports, but, you know, that deficit at the front, especially with the Groot cutting you off, and then right after you have to fend for yourself, hoping that the rest of your support's going to be coming through, but they all get picked apart by Scamazon and No Toast for You, makes it really tough to play. And so QT right now, they don't have to be changing anything. They just have to be playing towards what they set up with, as we are going to get a switch from Swinburne. Obviously, they are going to get 2 tanks. Both are going to have a Penny Parker. Blooper Dooper going to be the first one to be opting to see if he can bust open the rest of the Groot wall. And of course, No Toast for You is going to just activate the wall in front of his team. Just, you know, relive a few days and have a little bit of a fun.
This is going to hurt.
Have a little bit of fun. Have a lot of fun as we are getting into the next mission area right now. Swinburne on the point for the moment. We'll see how things go down now, though. The shots come out. Kaguya locked down for a second there. Mission area online. Swinburne now looking to hold on, but they are now getting a bit of percentage through. This is looking good for them. Looking even better. They have found their presence now. Guide, Jonkler Fiend making it known, keeping them mean. QUT, though, trying their best here, but Blooper Dooper on the Wolverine is keen for blood, and they will fall back. A good timing on their part there. Aradet trying their best to make an impact as well. They shut down Jonkler Fiend, trying to find the Penny Parker. The damage is major on this one, but they're caught by Blooper Dooper and chopped apart.
Yeah, that's some really good attack coming in from Blooper Dooper, really making his presence known. And as it was going to be a nice play from Aradet, it was just to burn his ult and do as much as he can. Now, he did get some good kills, and that's going to be okay. But meanwhile, Golem gets picked up by Scamazon. Because this side, the value is definitely heaps on this Bucky. He's looking to get his ult in, but he is completely denied. A little bit overly zealous into the play, and the punishment can be costing his team right now. So one of the most consistent DPS gets taken down. Kaguya goes down as well. Now it's just Kunibro setting it up. Does have all ready to go anytime to block out this one. And you can see Tina out to the back trying desperately to keep his tank alive. But then this ult is just continuously bounced them off the point. And no matter how much you can be playing into it, there's nothing much you can do.
Absolutely. Not much more they can do there, but QUT do pull through in the end and will be able to get straight onto the point here. We'll see if Swinburne can manage to swing things back into fruition here. I like how Jonkler Fiend has that ultimate available. Speaking of ults, Blooper Dooper ready and waiting, but Sky has gone down. That's going to be unfortunate timing for Swinburne, but they don't fret. They've still got time to recover. Still ahead in the percentage department for the moment. We'll see if that's going to be the case for much longer. Good web coming through there. Immobilizing for a second. Kunibro setting up those eggs underneath the enemies. They know where they're going to be coming from. Let's see if they are going to be able to find their presence here. They get prepared for battle. Good web once again, just trying to slow them down as much as they possibly can here. But now, Amp, it's time for the battle to go down.
Oh my god, that is so annoying for BkWhatOCE. He was trying to get that one away, but you can see Punisher opening channel, but he gets shut down. And that is great aim and assist coming through. Swinburne definitely needed this play. And that's, yes, it was annoying from Penny Parker setting up, but what is the setup when you have no team around you? And now it's up to Kaguya to do the same back. Now, the main point to take this all about, right? It was probably the most annoyingest thing that Kunibro can be doing to BkWhatOCE, but BkWhatOCE pushed through with the ultimate from Tina. And then right after, the rest of his team just completely shut out QT, who went trigger heavy with all the ults, investing everything they can, as they are going to re-enter themselves into this fight. And all eyes upon this Wolverine, who has done heaps of good stuff, and they are going to quickly front side, and there's going to be a quick investment. The Hella's going to quickly come in. No toast for you, instantly aiming, and they are just going to layer and wombo themselves in. Arrow, they're getting so much value sitting around, and this is going to be the control that they have recontested.
Another one for them. Tina going down, and Penny looking to follow suit shortly. Goodbye, Kaguya. And perhaps goodbye to more as well. 99% for Swinburne. QUT close on their tail as well. Ultimate available is Penny Parker's, and no one else really relatively close other than Sky at the moment, which could be big impact ultimate if they can activate it in time here. Sky had already taken a bit of damage, however, this could be a shutdown coming through, maybe not. Healed up. Kunibro, ready and waiting. Good shots on the Blooper Dooper. Shut down the Tank Destroyer and ready for more. Sky's gone down. No ult on that one. Now heating things up. It's Gamazon taking them apart piece by piece here. Goodbye, John Clefine. Goodbye, Golomio. And the Penny Parker ult comes out in the end just for good measure. But that is Royal Palace locked in for QUT.
It's a huge play. Great recovery from QUT. I actually didn't think they were able to make the comeback after the point being contested so heavily, but right after, it's just this man Arrow did plenty of work, said, all right, if I'm going to be burning my ult, I'm going to take someone down with me. Bought a lot of time taking the tanks from Swinburne off the map. And then afterwards, it was just, if you want to trade with me, you lose the side. Who do you want to be contesting with? Either it's going to be me or it's going to be Scamazon right after. And BkWhatOCE had no choice but to keep on playing with Kunibro and deny him. But because Kunibro kept on throwing his body in the way, there was no way that he could do anything else. So BkWhatOCE did. You get delayed quite a while when it came down to the advances. Tina and Golomyo actually did a ton of work, obviously. But it's all QUT members right now recognizing exactly how to play the map to their team. And they have done it to perfection.
Absolutely, done it to perfection, and that's netted them the map. Really impressed with how they managed to keep themselves composed all through the 2 points we saw there on the first map. Definitely was an exciting endeavor, but we saw the teams get a little bit closer on that second point, so it does make me think this one certainly could still be very competitive. We could even go the distance if we're lucky here, Amp, and I would absolutely love that. Not just for us, for our viewers at home, but for the teams as well. We want to see an exciting matchup, and it's already starting to deliver.
Yeah, the delivery definitely is going to be there, so I am very happy about it. QT, looking quite good right now. Very, very solid aim coming from Scamazon. On the Hella, I felt like, especially on the final play, there was just tapping heads all around. I think they also got surprised with Blooper Duper switch onto Wolverine. And Wolverine in the beginning, we saw a lot of good abducts that was able to get no toast for you. Isolated really well, and then afterwards abduct out. But more than anything, Kunibro readjusted, and then seeing Blooper Duper, there was a lot of good nets that stopped his aggression coming in, so it became a very easy picking. So I'm interested to see what else they've got in the bag.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious to see what else is going to be in their bag of tricks as well. Maybe they'll pull out some pigeons out of a hat. Maybe it'll be a magic 8-ball. Who knows? Anything could be coming out there, Emp, Definitely curious to see what's going to be coming out of their bag of tricks. And I really admire, I suppose, all the diverse competition or compositions that we see from some of our rosters here. You know, I think maybe it'd be interesting to see maybe some of our more less traditional compositions come out. You know, maybe we could see a comp with just 6 tanks. Who knows? Maybe we should see something with 6 DPS or 6 healers. Anything's possible, and I'm definitely keen to see some unique comps, to say the least. But you know what else is unique? Our next map is Midtown. Coming to you next on this fight card here. Definitely excited to see how the teams maneuver this one. We've seen it before tonight, and we are now going to see it again.
Yeah, I think Midtown is really fun. And the traditional play is either you stay really grounded, right? Really grounded, or you stay in the air. That's the only way you can play into this one. Any traditional way of busting in, especially since Cap and Amorphous are always the bans in the beginning, makes it almost impossible to be playing a mixed bag kind of setup. Unless there's some funky angles in the beginning that you can be aiming down. It's one of those things where you gotta pick and choose. It's like, all right, am I gonna let Captain America through or Emma Frost through, and then I sacrifice to get the Human Torch, or even get a storm? A possibility of a storm into this map is also really consistent. Or they can be playing just airs. Have we thought about that? We get 2 airs or 3 airs, just air superiority. And eventually, with the release of Ultron, we can just get everyone flying. It's like you wish you could hit us, but we're too cool for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think May 30th is around the time when Ultron's going to get released. So excited to see what that's going to look like, honestly. And it makes me think, how is Ultron going to fit into the meta? How will the meta transform around that pick as well? Because obviously being able to take flight, I suppose, is going to be a real fun toolkit to play around with there. And yeah, just excited to see what that's going to bring. I think it'll definitely change the landscape of things. I'm sure maybe some balanced things will come through with that character as well. But it's exciting to see how things transform over time and how the teams adapt around these constant transformations. That's the beauty of the game. That's what really makes you competitive, is being able to adapt around the meta and make it your own.
Well, there you go. I did say, Captain America is one of those just traditional bands, just go straight into a Midtown pick. You can see Punisher. Swinburne says, all right, Punisher's a little bit too strong, a little bit too good when it comes down to the last map, and we acknowledge it. So they are going to lock them the Spider-Man. This is them saying, since you banned away my Spidey, I'm going to have Spidey. So possibility of a good team up is also there. I'll be more surprised if there's going to be a Venom follow-up or a Venom ban coming in from QT. But if it is, that's just a target that, you never want to be seeing. QT, meanwhile, is locking down Penny Parker. Locking away Loki is actually, I guess that's a normal decision coming through, because they did have Golem Yo really sticking on that Loki pick in the beginning was really solid. And there is going to be the centering strategy about the Spider-Man. They said, yeah, there's not going to be any no more, but say hello to my Venom.
Yeah, they're going to see their Venom, aren't they, Amp? And definitely eager to see how that one plays out here. So we do have one more pick coming through on the QUT side now. So you can tell Swinburne eager to play into the Spider-Verse characters there, but Adam Warlock are going to be locked in for QUT now. So eager to see how things go down with this one. 2 more vans available, 1 per team. Who will reign supreme here? As they look to gear up and take it down. Magic. Interesting to see that one come through. You don't see that every day. But speaking of every day, let's see what Swinburne will take away today, as it's their final opportunity now. Take away a ban of their own here. Seconds now turning closer and closer to net 0. And Star-Lord will be the final ban.
The right heroes could make
I'm a little bit perplexed about this. QT's ban on that Magic, I guess it's targeted, but like with the way the pick and ban is locking in, I really don't think the Magic was going to come in. I thought the ban would have been a frontline, a tank or something, or maybe a further support to be locking this one down. Because if you are playing a dive team, the way to, completely shut off the dive, either you take out the front or the back. You just leave the dive and you pick things like Adam Warlock yourself. You can pick Mantis, you can pick Luna if you really wish. It's just there's so many options that you can be dealing with to make yourself more stronger. But I guess both side is gonna have the Emma Frost, so they do want that kind of pushing power when it comes down to it. But my biggest question here is how much value we're gonna be seeing from Blooper Duper with Drocklefang. Now, I love seeing a Venom tank. Venom tank is highly underrated, but it's just so much fun when you pull it out and makes it work because it's so annoying to be dealing with. Kaguya Min was jumping onto Mr. Fantastic, which means that this is going to be the provide. You provide the front, you become sort of like a wall. You want to put a little bit of a pushing power to Blooper Duper and give him the room and the space for him to maneuver. Meanwhile, QT is just playing for that position. They say, you come forward, we just quickly go to the back, you go to the back, we go to the front. Like, what do you want to do?
Let's see what they are going to be able to do now. Psylocke locked in on the Emma Frost here, trying to see if they can get some big damage across the board there, but it's just not going to happen. No toast for you. Pretty solid as well, but we'll see. They are going to be able to take down their counterpart here. Locked in on that damage. It's not going to happen just yet. No one getting over the top. Good trade coming out, as a matter of fact, already kicking things off there. Blooper Duper goes down. Jalen's back. A good start there. QUT trying to elevate themselves here. Jonklefine immobilized for a second, and Cooney Bro delivers on both supports there. Say goodnight to them, and the rest of the team follows suit. Now, trying to hunt down the Spider-Man. Goodbye, Blooper Duper. Hello, momentum for QUT.
Well, that was a little bit of the strategy we were talking about. QT. Either you go to the front or you go to the back. You got the Adam Warlock, great, but then we got the rest of your team. That's the trade-off. Drocklefang gets shut down really early as well. That's a bit of a miss coming in for a competition, yeah. Feels like, the lock just locking him down completely and he couldn't maneuver. Blooper Duper also falling down. This Adam Warlock pick is just completely shutting them out. I gotta say the value definitely is paying dividends as much as it wants, and you can see them just wanting to take everyone into the reset, go back to the spawn room, and you can see Aerodance says, well, remember how you don't want me to play the Punisher? Well, I got my Mantis, so, one way or the other, I just want to completely get this one through. Oh, Scammers on, hunting the spider, eventually cautious Blooper Duper.
We'll be able to push them back there, definitely eager to see how things go now. Jonklefine goes down. Perhaps could see more. Jeff Holt's going to be a big pickup there, trying to see if they can manage to take those opponents down, but Possum will be shut down as well. Swinburne, a nice counter attack here. Looking to see if they can find anyone else around these corners as well, but QUT getting a lot closer. Looking to push past the halfway point on the second point now. Cloak and Dagger ultimate coming out from Golem as well here, trying to see if they can manage anything more at this point. Blooper Duper does get shut down. Dance of the Butterfly coming through. Good timing on it. They won't be able to find the impact that they were searching for. Dangerous also going to be coming out here, so everyone is trying to get a piece of the pie here, Em.
Yeah, I feel for them. The side of Swimmer, they're investing so much over, but even the Hella ults get denied, and there's just nothing they can do about it. Yes, they were able to push QT all the way back because Possum and Notos for You decided to go for a wombo combo that failed ultimately. And then when they did respawn, it was just, alright, got the angle, but then right after, they just kept on being choked out of the point. And right there, this is dangerous. Drocklefang couldn't do that. He kept on trying to run back and maybe get into a dive strategy to go back. But you can just see it. This dive value definitely not coming through, especially with No Toast for You Scammers on heading that in the beginning. And if you do step just a little bit too far, we're going to destroy the rest, as Kaguya does pick up a nice double kill though.
Yeah, good way to pick things up there. Aerodance coming back as well. Blooper Duper will be shut down, and here comes that Mantis ultimate. So going to be keeping their team primed and ready to go here. Tina goes down as well. Aerodance just locking in on these supports single-handedly. Golem, surely not. Oh, they've taken him down. They're hunting down Venom as well. Aerodance has become a DPS right now. Don't mind the support label. Aerodance is a DPS.
Yeah, there it is. You want to see that from your mentors, get those critical hits so you can actually get your heals, you get your maximum leaves, keep yourself up and just keep on buffing the DPS. It's one of those things that you want maximum effort coming through, and if you do get it, it's obviously going to be in a good time. Meanwhile, Scooney is going to quickly deny the eggplant, and then on top, Jayloon does get taken out. Blooper Duper finally just getting some more value out of this one, but right now, at what cost? He gets taken down. There's going to be the rest from the Adam Warlock. There is the final desperation from Swinburne. They want to contest to the point, but their front has just melted. They are trying so hard to stay onto it, but you can see Scamazon already just angled towards the back. Olomio gets taken down. There is going to be the 2 enemy abduct. But, you know, at the same time, could have been looking bad because the building was coming back in, and this where the Bloodflight does come back out, and you can see Swinburne players completely locked away, and there's just going to be Dropper Frank standing desperately waiting for anything to come back, and there is going to be the final ditch effort comes through.
It certainly does, and they're so close to getting it over the line here. We'll see if they are going to be able to do it. Scamazon tearing it up right now. Aranet delivers as well, and there it is. They will be able to get it over the line. QUT, 2 minutes and 23 seconds remain here. And Swinburne, it's time to switch sides. See if they are going to be primed up, ready to rumble as well.
Yeah, I think this is a big one. Big one coming in from Swinburne. Because you gave so much avenue through to the other side, and then you can't pick up too much for your side. Like, I don't know if this Spider-Man is still gonna be enough for their side. Like, I feel like the value is definitely there, but the angle and the timing that comes in is definitely not worth it just yet. So maybe they will have a different kind of a surprise waiting because it's their time to push. It's still definitely doable. Blooper Duper and Drunk Fang, if they do get a nice dive and leave Kaguya with Sky, can be performing a little bit of an intrusive evade, I guess. If you put it through, swing out really early and just completely punish the backline, and a Kaguya all has to do is just protect Sky. All right, make sure that you're consistently getting the mines out and just buy that little extra room for maneuverability. It is definitely a doable thing, but we'll see if this is still going to be a QUT shutout.
4, 3, 2.
Let's see if it is going to be. Heading in that direction as we jump in now. Let the games begin. Now, Swinburne trying to get onto the point here. QUT already starting off strong, finding Blooper Duper there, looking to see if they can find anyone else around the corner. John Flavine gets ended there. Sky almost done as well, playing Hawkeye. He's going to be revived by the rocket passive, so nice to see that one coming back. Kaguya getting shut out by Jalen. And keen to see what's going on up there. They're having a bit of a face-off up top. Interesting. What? We're going to be jumping back into the fray here. Looking to see what else is around the corner.
Oh, that is rough. You do have no toast for you. Also sitting on a Spider-Man, just looking, and Drunk Fang gets taken down. They are completely being choked out, and they are just sitting in spawn. Not really too much to do, as Scamazon is just chasing towards them. Aradet self-buffs, waiting to tap some heads, and there's going to be the side entrance, trying their luck here, but the thing is, Cootie Bro is here. You're pushing in a Jeff and a Cootie Bro, waiting with the mines already, and you're leaving your back completely vulnerable. Objective not even touched, and so you have to do the maximum amount of damage that you can and get Scamazon out of here. But the thing is, there is the heal, there's still everything else. They get denied. Kaguya gets a nice double, looking for the triple here. This, it's the most weirdest thing that I've seen in a while, but you know what? If it works, it works.
Yeah, if it works, it works. And eager to see what else is going to work here. No toast for you. Shut down. I'm curious to see how Swinburne can push this one deeper, almost at the halfway point here. So good to see they're starting to gain a bit of traction now. Awesome does have that Jeff ultimate available if they need it. Speaking of ults though, Spider-Man doing a lot of damage, but they will be counted out. Goodbye, Blooper Dooper, and maybe could see more around the horizon as well. Trying to get into it. Amplifier coming out. This is a big one they can play off of. Aradet falling down and looking to fall back now. There could be more to follow, but Cooney Bro brings out the Penny Parker ultimate all over the point there, trying to stall them out. Aradet bringing themselves back as well. There's the Butterfly, finding a lot of damage and now finding a kill. This is good on the back line. Shut down their healing. Try and peel them out. Jeremiah, no matter how close Swimart are, they haven't gotten it over the line yet, but they're certainly close. 4.32 meters here, Amp. It's all down to this.
And there is a desperation from Drunkelfen at the back, trying to finish off Aradet. It's just not coming through. You can see it. The aim is looking pretty good, but Sky also shut down. No toys for you. Kaguya goes down, means that there's not going to be any more plays when you don't have any more pushing power. And now they're going to be also resetting. Meanwhile, Super does pick up a kill from the back line. That and Warlock is gone, but then you're going to have to try to push this one out. Going to have to be waiting for the angle. And you can see Sweeper does realize the timing. 45 seconds left into the clock. They do want a little bit more. Aradet is out, trying to just finish off Scamazon as well as Scamazon. Quickly shifts out. Knows that can't be following him. If he does fall, it means that this point is going to be forfeit. And meanwhile, Scamazon still harassing that back line. It's a nice angle. No toast for you, just jumps in valiantly and gets taken out. I'm not sure if I agree. 1 on 6 coming in, but the trade is still there. Scamazon is gone. Maybe we will get this contest.
Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but we certainly are going to be getting this fight on lock. Awesome. Trying to take their enemies as far away as possible. They will succeed in that endeavor, pushing them far, far away from that point. Trying to get on to contest. Might have more time now. Sky though finds 2 kills. Impressive stuff there. Looking for more as well. Cooney Bro, good for the Penny Parker roll. Just racing all over it right now. And Swinburne, they're on top of it. They're getting closer. And at long last, they managed to gain some extra grace.
I think that that Jeff worked against them because they set up Kaguya into the back, and so he was able to just quickly stab everyone from behind. Is not a good feeling. Meanwhile, Super does find a kill. Let's take out his mirror right there. Kaguya looking, doesn't really want to be opting in just yet, but knows he can. But what an aim from Scamazon, just completely aiming and waiting for it. Doesn't want Blooper Duper to be getting any sort of value. Meanwhile, does have all just waiting. Blooper Duper also sitting on his for quite a long time. They don't know when they should be going through, but that's not a bad thing. And there is going to be the old Tina gets taken down. That is bad news, especially when everything was completely going through. And there's going to be the old coming in invested. That should be all go. They are all trying to get some kills, but it's going to be denied instead. I think the anti-synergy there really worked against them, and now Swinburne desperate trying to get anything done. It's just the wipe from QT, it's a little bit stronger.
Yeah, just a little bit stronger there, and the power only continuing to grow here. Spider-Man and Co show their presence and will be able to keep their team alive a little longer here. Super-duper. And Go ready to make the show go on. Swinburne, 1 minute to go now. They need to push it over the line to the second point. Otherwise, we will see a victory for QUT. But already, Blooper Dooper's down. Scamazon locked in, shutting them all down one after the other here. Sky taking a lot of damage. Scamazon falls back, taking more in kind, but they're certainly doing a great job of blinding their enemies and trickling them down piece by piece.
Oh, that's a little bit rough right there. All the support being picked apart, and of course, one of the worst things that can happen is if you don't check the Psylocke. The Psylocke is completely aiming for you, and then being buffed by Aradet, completely shutting down Blooper Duper, and then Tina doesn't get to play the game as well. It's just that you want to advance. You're going to be aiming so many autos in the beginning, and the worst thing is that they are buffed, and you're going to be feeding into the Psylocke. And so Psylocke quickly goes through this one, the does quickly just takes out the full support in the front, and then afterwards there is going to be the desperation from Kaguya, but Kaguya just goes down in a field of mine. Aradet does get taken out by Tina, and they are trying to desperately keep on fighting for this OT, but the thing is, I'm not really convinced that you can do so much more. Both are the healers. They are trying to keep on contesting. They're gonna get taken down, slept upon. They are being completely just shut out of it, and everyone is gonna go down. QUT locking this second map.
Locked and loaded. And it will be a fine victory coming through from QUT. They manage to take control and take the map, the series for their own. Amazing stuff. And they have ought to be proud of themselves for the hard work they've achieved to get this far. It will work out for such a wonderful victory. But Kuni Bro, going to be the MVP there. Definitely respectable, honestly. I really admired the impact of their Penny Parker, particularly using the mines on point. I liked how often they were able to activate their ult there and really just get in their enemies' faces. So great to see that they managed to play their role to success.
Yeah, coming through it, Kuni Bro, setting that one up, I think it's no question in my mind that even without buff, because you can't really be dealing with the mines and the consistency of it, it was just blowing everyone up. So there's no ults or there's no Spider-Man dive shenanigans coming through. Scamazon, also a really key player on the defensive side, did plenty of annoyance to the backline and even to Blooper Duper, just going for the jumps, going for the dives, and then obviously shutting down Golem Yo and Tina. Aerodet, meanwhile, DPS Mantis doing tons of work. I feel like in the beginning, the attacking side, Aerodet was just saying, doing the reverse meme of the pirate says, I am the DPS because I don't get to play my Punisher. I'm happy to be dealing with it. So you don't expect any buff from me. I'll buff myself only. Looking at the Swingbrew side, I felt like there's a lot of good moments that Drunk with Feng was able to do, and Sky also, forming a nice little bit of a, I guess, synergy, but it did not come through on the second one, so it definitely felt rough.
Yeah, it definitely did feel rough, didn't it? And it really could be felt. They were trying their best to really synergize there, but there was just a lot of rough moments for them, wasn't it? But ultimately, in the end, it all worked out for QUT there, as they managed to keep themselves poised, composed, and managed to push themselves over the line. Great to see the use of the Spider-Man in this series in particular. You don't see Spider-Man all that often, so it was great to see that one being activated there. I know they tried to play a bit of Venom around it in the earlier stages, but obviously didn't get to see that one see the light of day in the end. But Penny Parker, still a worthy partner to come through there for No Toast for You. Definitely eager to see what else we might see coming through into the remainder of this evening as well. I'm sure we've got some very unique compositions into our final series of the night as well. But this one, finally, one of the teams managed to get a victory, Amp. Finally. I've been, egging these teams on all season. I wanted to see a Swinburne or QUT victory, and I'm so glad that at least one of them managed to get there tonight.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to a QUT, definitely just knuckled down and said, all right, play to our strength, really just go through with it and then see where else we go with it. I felt like most of the time there was not enough agency to put a threat onto the side of QUT. Like, you never felt like they were completely off the point or completely pushed away. And the picks was just starting to fall apart. And Swinburne did have some sort of setup that they did wanted to play. But like, Jungle Fan doesn't get to play Captain America, played Venom, and then try to keep on playing with Kaguya on the side. Both are having a Penny Parker. It brings me back to the beginning of everything of Marvel Rivals. And so when you have a Penny Parker, obviously you're just playing for that anti-dive, you're playing for that anti-front as well. But because Penny Parker is not really what we call a main tank coming through, because not enough defensive strategies coming through, it can be an early punishment. But because of the 2.5 DPS or even just 2 DPS healers, there was just so much value. I think Jalen also denied a lot of old power coming through, just one soulbound, and then Aerodet was just pumping onto the side and says, all right, we will invest into this one. don't have to worry too much and just get your timing completely right, and then we just keep on pumping it because everything else was just coming alive for QT. And I feel like that's exactly where they got the win because their support line was so well.
Yeah, they managed to maintain themselves pretty effectively, didn't they? And I was really impressed with how they composed themselves. But you know what else? I'm keen to hear all about it because we have an interview right now with Aridit.
Hello.
Welcome, mate. It's a pleasure to have you on board. I've been trying to hype you guys up all season, and
Thank
you've
you.
finally done it, mate. How do you feel after getting your first
we feel
victory?
amazing. We feel amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Punisher not banned first game. It's all good. All right. Second game, had to bring the Mantis out for the boys.
Love it.
Well, going through into this one, obviously we saw that first pick. You were, very stable on the Punisher. There wasn't anything in my mind that says this man is just locking in, ready to punish them. But when it came down to the DPS aggro play from you, that was another thing. Like, bring us through when the Punisher got banned for you. What was your thought process?
Okay, so after first game, seeing that Punisher wasn't banned, I kind of just like arose on my seat. I kind of like sat up instantly. I got, kind of excited. Second game, we kind of expected Punisher to get banned. I was lucky trying to troll a bit in the, the second round of the first map. So, maybe we wouldn't get banned. But we saw it get banned, and we were all thinking about what we could play. And eventually it just led to, trying to get onto the Mantis again, run it back, see what happens.
It worked out so darn well there. I was very impressed with the Mantis, to be honest. I think there was moments where I felt like you were a DPS instead of a support. Can you talk us through what was going on there?
Okay, so I have full trust in my healers. If you did look at the healing, I did have most healing, I think. So I noticed that there was a couple open spaces for me to run in, chuck some cheeky headshots in on Mantis, damage juice for my mates, and just run it forward to Swinburne, see what happens.
Fair enough. Well, congrats once again. Obviously, the first win of the weeks. Tell me, I just want to know one thing. How did your comms go through the end when you guys finally won? Tell me that.
Okay, so pretty much at the entirety of them on attack, we were running Spider-Man. No idea why. Let's just say one of our teammates was just one hand wanted to have a bit of fun. But the entirety of the comms was us screaming because we're gonna win the toilet bowl.
Love it. No, you guys definitely.
We were excited for sure.
That's great, and honestly, it's been a pleasure to see you guys finally get that victory, and yeah, eager to see what's in store for you guys. I think that you guys have got a much-deserved victory there, so you guys got to be proud of yourselves for that at the bare minimum.
What's our current record? Like 1-6 or something?
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep.
So
like
you got the one, mate. Yeah,
on top.
That's right.
Yeah.
Keen to see what you guys can do heading towards the future, and I really hope that in future seasons you guys will be able to take that win and turn it into even more.
Yep. Thanks, bro.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Very good. So we've finally had a QUT interview there, Amp. Great to get them on board at long last. It's great to see a victory there. Definitely well deserved. They played very well, and excited to see what's in store for the grand finale, the last match of this evening, right after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to the AEL University Elite Series here for Marble Rivals. We love Marble Rivals, but you know what else we love, Emperor ZK? We love this final matchup! It's the one we've all been waiting for! Monash UTS! I can't believe it. Ooh, what? Oh, QUT, their first victory! It's gonna be QUT. No, it's not.
They don't get any
Apologies for that
rest.
one, folks. No, yeah, QUT. They won their game. Now they're in. They're fighting the big dogs now. Oh, no, we love to see it. UTS Monash is the correct game there, everybody. So get keener for UTS and Monash, the Clash of the Titans. Both teams undefeated this season and eager to see who's going to win.
Oh boy. Well, on the side of UTS, you have Kaive, you have Dinosaur, Pillow, Milk, Jisun, Soon, and Fluent. On the side of Monash, you have Boash, Genzo, Six, Joji, Pikachu, and Jaded. Now we've seen both of this side play. Actually quite interested to see where we're gonna go with this one because you know, we've seen both sides already saying that they are trying to compete for the top spot, and obviously it's gonna be a great match between the two. But ultimately, because both has been undefeated throughout this season, we're finally gonna get them matched up. This is gonna be the decider to see who's gonna be the first one to win.
That's right, and we are going to see exactly who our first victor will be. Who will be the first one to get their hands on the prize here? As we are going to be getting into our first map here. It's going to be a fun one, and I'm definitely eager to see what our picks and bans are going to look like as well. You know, we've seen a lot of diverse splits coming out in the pick ban phase, particularly Monash. Definitely excited to see what they're going to be looking to maneuver their way through to this time. As we jump in, it's ban time, and Psylocke is out.
Yeah, I think now we go back to the heavy focus on your key players. So anything that's to do with DPS probably going to be the first one that gets shot away. If they do want to start angling towards tank or support, it will be a full angle of what they don't want to be dealing with. And so coming through right now, you can see both sides is going to be the Bucky that's going to go away. And so UTS quickly locking down the Loki, which I think is personally smart because, you know, you do leave yourself open a little bit too much and you don't really want to be just floating towards an Adam Warlock. So having a Loki definitely means it's a good thing. And then on the opposite side, Monash locking away a Hela, which means that, you know, this DPS, you're going to have to choose one, right? It's going to either be the Psylocke or it's going to be the Hela that's going to be coming through. If they do continuously try to pump out more DPS, it just means that this is going to be centered towards that tit for tat, a little bit of, you know, DPS into the mid, but survivability is going to be the one thing. There is going to be the Lunar Snow that's going to be angled out, which means that we deny the double Lunar Snow all coming in. UTS, not going to be too worried about that one because they can be looking to locking down a tank, and that's going to be the Captain America. Now, this one's very important because it does give you more agency to play around. It makes sure that there's not going to be any floater left around from Monash. And so chucking away the tank here is always going to be in a better shape, especially since you already know what's going to be your back and what's going to be your DPS.
We'll see what those picks are going to eventuate into as Rocket is locked in. Keen to see how that one works out because UTS picking that one does actually work out for Monash as well, because I've seen Monash semi-often have played around that Amplifier ultimate. You know, they really like to use that one to elevate their damage output there, and eager to see how things go down. Next pick coming through. Interested to see what that could be. We'll find out, maybe. Maybe not. But next ban, Venom.
Well, I guess this is just going to be one of those things that they're going to leave open. I'm not 100% when it comes down to it. When you do leave things open, it means that, you know, you're more likely to be playing into however you like it. So it's going to be more of a free flow control. And so the ban to stick away anything that's to do with a dive is going to be one of those things that clearly defines what you want to do, and it's going to be the final throwaway as well. So both sides is electing to quickly let more, I guess, champions to be coming through. I feel like both sides is more happy to say we've got a very deep pool of what we want to be playing. So even if you did ban, it's not going to be too bad, but we'd rather let it open so we have more team synergies and team power-ups. And I'd rather have that than not having it. And you can see it, Dinosaur Pillow with Rocket, and then you have the Asgardians come through with Jisoo and Flowent. And then if you see on the opposite side of Monash though, well, let's just say we have the Hela and we do have the Loki. But 6 right here, right, if you didn't know, first utility in OCE, and it's going to be locked on this Hawkeye. We can just be seeing a ton of heads being popped right here. So I'm very interested to see how we're going to get this one started.
Oh, I'm keen to see how this one is going to kick off as well, Amp, as our teams get excited, get bumped up in Spawn. Curious to see how the power of Hawkeye works out a 4-6 right now. As we jump in to the mission area. Dinosaur Pillow already very keen to get on towards the point there, bringing out that grapple tech. You love to see it. Let's see how they hold down the choke point now. Pikachu ready on the Groot, ready to kick down their enemies as they try and fire big damage coming out there, bringing out the walls, trying to stall them out. And Monash good for the first pick there. Kaibe goes down. Kaibe going to be back though from the rocket tech there, and we'll see. They can do more with it. Pikachu goes down, however. Goodbye, Dinosaur Pillow, the one behind that one at 6. Trying to lock down the damage there. You can see they're hitting them max power, picking up the hundreds there. They are forced back a little bit, at least though. Monash do pick up the early percentage on the mission area, but UTS have managed to swing it back just as quick.
Right there, gotta be careful. When you do have the team up with Rocket, even if you do lose your tank at the beginning, there is a quick rest because it's just so safe. But then right after, there's not the same option for UTS. And so, it's going to be Monash trying to get themselves in, but Georgia gets taken out right now. It's a little bit of a bad angle right now, so they do need a little bit more consistency trying to get this one through. And there is a bit of Hawkeye ult, and there is the full consistency coming through. They do want to keep on contesting, and they say, you want to keep on playing? Well, I've got a little bit more to shoot around. And as they are going to once again take down Kaibe, he's going to get another one, another rest, but this grab from Wash is just amazing.
Absolutely amazing, and you're going to see a wonder of amazement coming through here. Pikachu still holding down the front line. Do have the ultimate available though, so if they want to lock their enemies down, they've got the tools to do it. We'll see if they are going to be looking to activate them. I like how they're playing up front, but they're also slowly falling back. They realize they can't maintain the same space for too long, otherwise they're going to be caught off guard here. Speaking of caught off guard, 6 does find Dinosaur Pillow. More following now, looking to lock them down, one after the other. Find those high impact picks there. Ooh, close, but not close enough for Choji. Going to be ulting down the opposing Hela there. Love that. Who managed to shut them down and take them out on the ground. So Joji showing them who's boss. 6, 2, and 1 in the same, and now furthering their percentage onto this point.
I gotta give it to 6 right there. Coming through, there was the ult thrown by Fluent, but then right after, it was not enough to stop by the 2 kills coming through. Milk News gets sniped once again, and it's a rough one. It's a really rough one, and there's going to be the Groot ult. They are locking everyone down. Everyone's going down. There is nothing else that UTS can be playing for this point, and as they do get sent back into the spawn, one big question is this. Will UTS be completely shut out completely when it comes down to it? My guess, probably pretty much, because it's already at 96%. There is still ults just in case, but they're going to be just fine without it. And this first round, it's going to be a massive one from Monash.
Absolutely. They take control of the throne room, and now onwards to the Bifrost Garden. We'll see if they are going to be able to take this one for their own as well, as they zone it out and get ready for what's ahead of them. UTS, though, definitely felt good on that one, but they weren't able to get close enough. Monash did a great job of locking it in here. And we'll see. They are going to be able to do the exact same thing heading in to the next sector here. UTS. It's time for them to try and impress here as well. Time for them to deliver results. Otherwise, they're going to get left behind.
All right. UTS pretty much have 3 ults ready to go. Meanwhile, on the side of Monash, there is just the 2 to be playing around with. Now, in this one, it's more important to see if you can take that front, right after front, take to the side, and make sure that you continuously pump that one through. Joji, meanwhile, onto the Black Panther. All eyes upon him, going to be the first one to dive in. He does take a ton of damage as well, but at least he does find a little bit of a play. I mean, he does go down into this. He doesn't have the angle. In the meantime, he can just be looking to be playing to agency, and he is going to quickly get himself in. Oh, it's going to be invested to counter. So soon doesn't really get too much that he was looking for, but Milk News is going to get taken down. The Spirit Ren is working wonders in a map like this. The Panther is just going to be having a great time. Look at all those marks. He is just waiting to put his Spirit Ren in, but unfortunately, running out of cooldowns, doesn't need it anyway, and Pikachu and Wash is going to push through for the rest.
Absolutely pushing through and see if they can manage to press them up to take more action here. They hold back a while longer now. Root ready, Pikachu. Locking those walls down there. It's good they're maintaining distance here and eager to see if they are going to continue. They maintain, but here comes Emma Frost. 6 is down, and they find more. The Galactic is activated. Jason, good to find heaps in the back line there, but the healing is just too prevalent here. If he not for long, though, there we go. Genzo's down, finding more. Wosh perishes, and now UTS managed to steal the swing back. Just before Monash get the 50 there, UTS come knocking.
I think that was pretty good, especially since they only invested 2 ults into that one. There is still a little bit more to be made. UTS, they do have a little bit of agency, but that's not what you want to see. 6 completely punishes Jisun right here, so he gets rest up. So that's going to be that complete ready to go. Meanwhile, Joji finishes Dinosaur Pillow. It's going to be the dodge coming in, not going to find the value from Magneto. It's going to be the Spirit Red quickly insert. The mark gets reset, jump spot onto the back. Now it's looking, but his shift is completely on cooldown. He knows that 5 more seconds means his death into the open, so he quickly backs up. At the same time, 6 getting very aggressive, looking for the headshots. There is going to be the body shot, 2 shots tapping, 3 does not get the 4th one, but there's still just one side. And then right after that, Jisoo gets packed up right after, goes back in. Sonic Seduction is going to be online, trying to trap them all. There is the heals that's coming in, and Pikachu enters the conversation with 6. You're not allowed to come out.
Not allowed to come out and not allowed to come in there. We'll see if they are going to be able to find a way out. They do have the Hella ultimate if they want to try and activate something. Speaking of ultimates, Jason's is available. They've got the Galactic, but they don't need it yet. 6 is down. Good start from Dinosaur Pillow there, trying to get into the fray here. We'll see if they are going to be able to make it happen. Joji in the back line now, but here comes the Galactic, trying to shoot them down piece by piece. This is a problem, though. The Invisible Woman making it harder. Joji goes down to Dinosaur Pillow. But they are managing to find impact here. 6 is almost back on point as well. Amplifier coming through there. Genzo goes down. This is looking good. You have the ultimate available as well on a Magneto, but 6 down again. Jaded falling down. It's all looking good, and they will be able to wipe them out there. Great quad kill. So they can stick it back here, get some percentage back up, but Monash, they have plenty of time, plenty of flexibility. They can afford a bit of percentage here. Let's see how they try and recover the point.
Yeah, when you have so much cap to play around with, especially since that was OT, there was nothing else UTS could do except throw everything they can at a Jisoo, doing a ton of damage, and there is going to be the switch. Spider-Man comes out for Joji. There's going to be a quick little bit of recovery, but I got to be careful. And I'm talking about ult might just come through very soon. There is going to be the one. Magneto also charging this one up. The back harassment is going to be good, and 3 goes down 4. And right now, that's what you want, the maximum value that you can get. And Joji tried to get his, but it was just too much of a prediction coming out. And Floodway will be utilizing that all from Invisible Woman. And I tell you what, this could be looking at UTS dominating the second part as they are starting to keep a little bit more dominance back in. Monash now on to the final turn.
On to the final turn, the final circle, and we'll see. Here we go again. It's Galactic time. They're trying to lock down the damage. Not working out as well as they would like there. Ooh, might be in a second though, but no. It's not meant to be. Well, it did help there. Soon managed to take out WotOCE there. So good start. We'll see if they are going to be able to take more from it as well. Pikachu trying to push up into this one, but they do get shut down. Hella bringing out the ultimate as well here, trying to see if they can deal more damage. And it works out. Oh my gosh. UTS managed to get it through. We are on to Odin's Archive Imp. 1 for 1.
Yeah, I don't think we see enough onto the third round all night. And so this will be very interesting to see what both sides is going to be cooking. I say UTS definitely utilized their powers really well. Dinosaur Pillar was able to continuously keep Joji out. And Jisun, definitely the GOAT right there with Kaibe. Kaibe kept on just crashing out onto Monash's advances and then utilizing that to quickly take out the DPS. And Jisun, it's just Galactic after Galactic, finding the right targets, and it's not from the front. To anyone else, seeing that you should not be going, from the back or from the side. Actually, when you have a good team like this to support you and supporters that actually knows where you are at all times, just pop that Galactic from the off angle and you'll have a great time every single time. And now, what's going to be the response?
Yeah, what's going to be the response? That's the big question here. Both teams needed to try and deliver a result here. And we'll see if they're all going to be able to make this one impossible here, or whether it could be left by the wayside. Mission area unlocks in 5, and both teams trying to stay alive and thrive here. They jump in to the fray already. Damage coming through. WotOCE in a bit of trouble, but maybe not for long. Ultimate already coming out there. Jason brought back. Good for the rocket, but soon goes down. Genzo traded out as well. Things already heating up here. Looking to see if more can follow as well. No one wallowing in it. Kaibe down. And WotOCE good to start the impact there. Joji dealing a lot of damage to the back line as well here. So good start for Monash. And they take that initial control.
Oh, it's huge right there. Nice little bit of play. The aggression definitely doing well on the side of Monash as they are starting to play the keep away. Gotta be careful. Any extra value that the side of Monash get, UTS is going to be suffering for quite a while. Meanwhile, Jisoo 90% is going to be able to have his Galactic very soon. And now looking for a full play, and there is going to be the lock. Joji is going to be the first one up, but he gets taken down and denied by Jisun. So now this opens himself up onto the next fight. He doesn't even need to this one, but the Sonic Seduction is going to be completely thrown out there. They do want to take him out, and so this is the extra value I was talking about. If you do throw it out and get something with it, you'll be good. Fortunately enough on the side of UTS, nothing really worked out, and now they have their own Galactic, and they are looking to just take out all the backline as well. Everyone being wiped off, and this is going to be the cap.
Yeah, cap coming through there, so great to see UTS pressing them up and bringing it back here. Wall coming up now, and eager to see what else is going to be coming over the top now. They hold on to it a second longer here. Shots over the top, 6 available and ready. Joji gets the lock in on Dinosaur Pillow there, looking to hit the right click as well. We'll see if they are going to be able to do more. Good burst fire coming over the top from Joji there. Does manage to lock down soon here. And let's see what over will come through. WotOCE locks them down, and here comes the amplifier as well. Time to put that damage in there, but no one going down just yet.
You can see the slight agency that the side of Monash don't want to be thrown just yet, because they know if they do a little bit too bad on this one, there's still plenty of ults that they can fall back. Fortunately enough for them, there was just too many good angles, and they were able to completely collapse the side of UTS. You can see all of them being sent, and Dinosaur Pillar does maintain some ult right here, but can be completely thrown out. Doesn't want to be the one to be throwing up, because you do need so much support in a game like this. If you do go up, instantly get taken down, and Joji will instantly focus. And so there is going to be the play coming in. Obviously 6 is going to be the first one. Look at this angle though. This is a complete shutout. You don't really get to see the angle like that, but right after, soon it's going to take a ton of damage, and yeah, it's just going to go into the respawn. Not much you can do about it. Joji meanwhile don't want to die right there. I mean, you did good when you start chasing them down, but any of the DPS dying here could be devastating.
Yeah, it could be super devastating here, and we'll see if they are going to be able to deliver on this one. Percentage getting dangerously close now for Monash. UTS need to consider their options here, need to see if they can figure a way out of this one, otherwise they are going to have a world of problems ahead of them. Let's see if they can do it. 4%, it's time to get on point, get OT timer, otherwise it's over. They do get on it, but now the fight rages on. Someone's got to go down, and Dinosaur Pillow is looking to find them. Big damage coming out there, and they will be able to take down 6. Going to be taken out of their ultimate as well. Joji, good to find Kaibe, looking for more around the center as well. Genzo traded out there. OT timer still on. Amplifier locked in here. It still continues. Mill finally goes down there. My gosh. And there it is, Amp. Monash take the 3rd point and find map 1, 2-1 there. What a close and competitive matchup so far, and this is just the beginning.
Oh man, that was kind of crazy, not gonna lie. The kind you don't really see too often, but when you have a good team like that, everyone knows how to play their role really well, and just like that, everything comes to fruition. Now, one thing to take away from here is Monash definitely had the ult advantage, and they definitely held their points correctly. You can see 37 kills on Wash. He maintained that front really well, and just how he finished the rest of Milk News in the end, that was beautiful. And of course, looking at 6, 18k damage, 15 final hits, and a lot of the, came from the Hawkeye in the beginning. Like, just getting those snipes, and then right after, obviously with the Hela doing tons of damage. Joji, this switch between Black Panther to Spider-Man, just to see what he can do and accomplish in that meantime. But then right after, it says, all right, that's going to be it. I'm going to be playing into this, and yeah, no one's going to stop my Star-Lord.
Absolutely, no one is going to stop, can't stop, won't stop there. And Spider Island looking to be our next map on the fight card here, but definitely eager to see who is going to be taking control into this one. And I believe I'm hearing in the background, we are going to have Pikachu out, Denzel in for Monash there. So get keen to see how that one turns out into this next map here. Definitely excited for what's to come, Amp. It's been a very heated match so far. Both teams trading blow for blow there. Monash pulling ahead, but UTS, I feel like they're capable. They certainly might have it in them to take some further control here as well.
Yeah, I don't think UTS did too badly, especially coming from the second one. They played it really well. Fluent threw out some really good preemptive ults on the Invisible Woman, and then right after that, it was OG Soon and Dinosaur Pillow doing everything else. I gotta say, like, Dinosaur Pillow was able to shut out most of the assassins coming from Joji, but then right after, it was OG Soon just getting all of that plays in, which was fantastic. Monash meanwhile quickly starts off the ban phase. Psylocke gets completely unplayable, and I feel like that's one of the best decisions that you can make, is if you have no things that you want to be dealing with at the back. So say for example, you don't want anything to be stabbing at your back, quickly take out the best assassin right there, and Psylocke being put away is just a really good pick, followed by the Invisible Woman. It's going to be UTS, so I'll be very interested to see what's going to be the first pick.
Yeah, curious to see what's going to be coming out here and how UTS try and contain the beast here. It's definitely going to be quite the bloodbath ahead of us. But picks come through. It is Loki and Winter Soldier locked in there. Fans, Lunar Snow coming out of that one. Don't want to see that healing potential activated. And UTS now looking to jump in to the next one as well. 10 seconds. It's Groot. No more Groot. And no more worries.
I feel like that Groot ban, I guess, is something that you might want to just stick with, because Groot is in a great place to be in. Even if you have the Wolverine on the opposing side, it takes a ton of concentration to get the Groot down, and because he can set this one up it's always going to be one of those better picks that you want to lock away. But it's respectable. It's a respectable ban coming in from both sides. And Rocket coming in, which means that now it's a big call to get the Punisher in, right? So the final pick might be shutting away the Punisher, or it could be throwaway bans as well. The pick is, yep, there's going to be the tank. So Magneto is going to be locked down. If they do lock down the Punisher, or they decide not to ban away, that's also a good cause. But because it's both bans coming through, I feel like a lot of these guys already know a lot of different roles that they can be playing into. And Venom ban is going to be continued from the side of Monash. UTS, meanwhile, don't really have to do anything else. They can be looking to throw. They can be looking to coming back in and maybe deny a Hawkeye ban potential, or maybe a Hela ban. Yeah, there is going to be the Hela ban, and that's exactly what they're saying. Is you get only one aim and click here and there. If you do get the second one and you're good with it, I guess we're just gonna have to tank it. And so there is going to be the current hover. Both sides has plenty to choose from. Emma Frost obviously not locked away. Captain America is also free on the deck. So we can see a lot of fireworks.
Absolutely. And it's great to see that because of the way that the picks and bans played out, Captain America was open. So WotOCE going for that one could be a pretty big impact play here, but we'll see. They aren't decided on it yet. Still curious as to the evolutionary nature of these compositions. There we go. Captain America locked in with the team up with the Winter Soldier there. So great to see that one coming to fruition, and eager to see how it plays out in practice here. As we jump into the fray here, 15 more seconds preparation. More time to get pumped up and ready for war here. Monash ready to draw blood as soon as those gates open, and UTS ready to press them back. Here we go again. It's time to get down to business. Monash come calling, and they're ready to push this point all the way to the end.
All right. There is the initial push coming in. Monash is just happy to be given that room and space to have a look at what's going on around the corner. You can see it. It's nice angling, nice little bit of setup. Human Torch also a pick on the side of UTS means that there's always going to be that stoppage power. Meanwhile, it's going to be ignored for now until Joji is going to try to see if they can get some aim coming in. But meanwhile, WotOCE can be just free right up. He's at the back and he's just going to completely annoy the healers. Meanwhile, there is going to be a little bit of push forward and backwards soon. So you gotta be careful here. This is where you start losing all that potential power when you don't have anything else. So Rocket being taken out of it, followed by Jisoo, is a little bit rough.
Yeah, it's a really rough time ahead, isn't it? And eager to see what else is going to happen here. Flowing off the map. Goodbye. And Kaibe will follow. So that's going to be reset there. Good momentum for Monash to push ahead here. And UTS struggling to stop them in place here because Monash's force is just too powerful. So they will be able to get it over the top. Onwards to the second point. But speaking of points, Six is locked in to take many more points. Locking in the bullseyes there. Headshot City. Oh my gosh. Just doesn't stop here. Six is just unstoppable with the damage and no one's there to contest them.
Oh wow, that's a really tough one. When it comes down to it, no protection and just tons of damage. Six offering value where not a lot of people get to see that kind of value, but he says, all right, let me have at him. And in the meantime, WotOCE does pick up a little bit of a quick play coming in. Gotta go back. Genzo Mi was charging up here, so they can be looking to be protecting. There is gonna be a Lokio channeled in. Gonna be looking. There is gonna be the amplifier coming in, and WotOCE is just gonna charge up. Kaibe gets taken up by Denzo, and right now look at that. WotOCE is just saying, all right, let me play into this one. I'm gonna jump in. Galactic does coming from Jisoo, just quickly finishes off a double kill, triple. Looking at the final, wiping them all. Wants some last one, and I believe that he's gonna also get it. And so UTS does hold some form of defense for now, but how much more longer can they do this?
Yeah, how much more longer are they going to be able to hold on here? Definitely a tough challenge ahead, and we'll see if they are going to be able to spread their reach here. Kaibe does have the Meteor available. They can use that to try and shut down some of the push momentum here from Monash. Oh my gosh. We're back on track. 6 ready to take some damage through there. Joji going to be on the receiving end, however. Dinosaur Pillow locked in for that one. Trying to see if they can find anyone else as well, but the push comes to a stalemate here. UTS are doing a good job of pushing that momentum back. Speaking of momentum, though, Gento pulled straight in there, already taking a lot of healing. Kaibe ready for the Meteor there. Armed and Dangerous now going to be activated as well. 6 jumping in on it, soon goes down. Looking to see if they can find more as well. Joji, it's reset there. 6 doing a lot of the work in this one. They will be able to start the push once again.
Yeah, that is all cool. There is his old Hawkeye is just gonna keep on aiming you down, and there is the full buff as well. That's saying let's quickly amplify this, do maximum amount of damage that you can. Even if you don't get anyone down, Kaibe is gonna get taken down, and so goes Soon. And that is a bit of a problem once again. Is you had a really good defense, you held the point really well, but then afterwards there's just too much freedom given to the side of Monash. And because they have that open aim, there's no one else in order to shut them down. And it's a problem. UTS is trying desperately to find some measure of a chokehold and trying to find maybe some form of agency to go in and out and hold to the point, but it's not given to them.
Not given to them at all. They're going to have to work hard for it here, and we'll see if they are going to be able to do just that. Ooh, could be caught out here. WotOCE diving deep. It does get thrown back, but they're still going to be stacking up, holding down the front for their teammates while they push that cart closer and closer to the finish line. Armed and Dangerous activated again now. Joji, oh no. They are going to be able to shut down a few players, force them back into spawn while their team continues to push up here.
This is the value that Captain America gets. He gets to run around. Oh, what a shot by 6 right there. Takes Jisoo onto the side. Here comes Magneto looking for the snipe. Just wants it, but he doesn't get it. And Galactic does come out from Jisoo, but he gets shut down instantly. And there's nothing else you can do. They get the full cap, and Monash should be very happy about it.
Absolutely, Emp. They're going to be very happy with that. Finding a very competent push coming through there, and eager to see what the other side of things is going to look like. You know, will UTS be able to bless the timeline with a similar amount of composure, or will it be something else entirely coming through here? Monash, they have certainly activated ever since that first map there, and eager to see if it's going to be the same kind of momentum coming through into this next one as well. As we've got UTS now trying their best to fight on and keep themselves in the running here.
Alright, this is a very big one. Monash already up one map, and they've done having a 2-1 victory did show that yes, there was a little bit of inconsistency, but it was also the comp that was very different as well. So it wasn't too bad on the side of UTS, but now they need to completely lock this one down. And so the biggest question, right, is can we find those kills onto 6, especially since Denzel's going to be the one to buff him. But meanwhile, talking about the buff, talking about the potential power, Joji on the side also can be one of those times where he gets a buff, he taps ahead, and all your life is pretty much gone. So, all of Pong, what Jisoo can do right here, Kaibe is going to try to provide this one with Soon. They are going to be looking to try to push forward, trying to make a little bit of annoyance coming through, but you can see Dinosaur Pillar taking a ton of damage. And as we're talking about damage, Genzo also going down very low, but at the same time, he doesn't mind about it. It's a nice little bit of a play. WotOCE is going to jump in, jump back, and he's going to go to the side and continuously annoy them from the side.
Yeah, going to be annoying them from the side there and not allowing them even a further presence at all. They will be able to stall them out to success. 6 locked in there. Jason comes back though to activate there. We'll see if they can manage to stop the enemies around the back here, trying their best to get shots onto 6 here, trying to see if they can manage to get anyone out the back end as well, but no one really getting caught out here. WotOCE, however, doing some good catching, hook, line, and a sinker on that one. see if they are going to be able to find more out of this, because Monash are in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just a lot of defensive power as they are choking the point out from UTS. They are trying to find a little bit of advancing room, but it's just not happening. Meanwhile, Swan is going to quickly raise himself back up, but he's still in danger of being sniped out. Meanwhile, 6 is also very far ahead, just trying to find those final finishing touches. That's not going to be given the grace. There's still an immense amount of power from UTS. But the thing is, they are not moving events. I mean, when you don't move, you can't do anything to push the objective. And meanwhile, as they are trying, there's gonna be the full grab, but then soon gets punished by Whoosh and the rest of the team. The Amplify still doing tons of damage. They are looking to finish it off. Send the Warlock back in as well, but Dinosaur Pillow is gonna be the first one, followed by the Warlock. And now you can just see it. If that grab went through, that also would have been terrible. But Milk News gets charged up by Wash. He said, you don't get to go back and heal. You get to send back in a body bag instead. And so, 1 minute and 51 seconds left on the clock. UTS struggling to make a little bit of a dent.
Yeah, struggling to make a dent here, struggling to see if they can invent a way forward. 6 and Go are just locked in. Armed and Dangerous activated as well, trying to see if they can shut down the Invisible Woman there. Amplifier coming through. It's trying to go slam dunk here. And they find a triple kill. All the Impact players go down. This is a time to shine here. And we'll see if they can find more as well, as it's time to go galactic on this one. Jason gets jaded around the back. Denzil going down as well. All the healers are out of here. And it's UTS's time to push ahead.
Oh, they're so desperate. Oh my god. Joji barely missing the duck right there. Right click into shift. Didn't get it. It was just barely off the angle on the side. And so Jisoo gets to live another day. However, there's still one more fight to go. And when you have a Wolverine being ranged upon, that's the way you want to be seen. But Jisoo's being out of this fight, it's also a little bit different. And now there is the buff Sonic Seduction trying to interrupt 6. And now he wants more power. He wants to play into it, but he gets taken out by Jisoo. And now it's really beautiful coming in from UTS. But there's also going to be the reverse. Here comes Genza looking for his targets. He's going to be able to get one. And now looking at Sun, who is by himself, gets cut off. But still lives. Jisoo meanwhile also gets tapped out. And the recovery from Monash is just as powerful.
Just as powerful and just as evil. And we'll see if they are going to be able to find something with the Galactic here. No, they will not find anything. They've done it. Monash have locked them out. It will be a triumphant victory for Monash, taking it away with Joji as the MVP.
Well, Joji did a ton of work. Lots of damage on his Bucky, and then afterwards, it was just scraping by with Wolverine, trying to go back as fast as possible to provide value, but then he didn't need it to lock down the MVP. 29 kills, and then right after that, 19k damage. Like, this man was aiming, doing everything he can. Meanwhile, I gotta give it to 6, who had a lot of good snipes, but more than anything, I feel like Whoosh did tons of the carrying, just getting the tanks in and making sure that there's no room to be gained from UTS was probably the thing that carried them over. On the side of UTS, Dinosaur Pillow did tons of work but got shut out really early. Meanwhile, they tried to keep on playing with around Jisun, but because every time Jisun tried to push out, they realized exactly what's going to happen. If you're going to be going up into the air, Whoosh is going to dive in right behind, and then it's going to make it really tough on the support. And because there's no Invisible Woman and it's going to be low-key eccentric with a rocket, there wasn't as much that you can do. It's just going to be, if you're going to be concentrating on trying to advance, then Whoosh is going to be at the back with that Captain America to eventually destroy your backline, and that just worked out for them.
Yeah, and it worked out pretty well, didn't it? Definitely great to see how they managed to dismantle things piece by piece there, Amp, and it worked out so effectively. Definitely eager to see what that results in heading into our future weeks as well. And, you know, one step closer to the playoffs here. And this is a nice little preview of what our top 2 teams are able to achieve here. I think we should have, after this matchup, seed 1 and 2 absolutely locked in. So great to see how things played out here, and curious to see what things are going to turn into heading into our next partition here.
Yeah, like, you know, this part is really cool. Obviously, we finally got all the 4s through, and this is the standings, the final one. We finally got it. Locking down the first position is Monash on 7 wins, no defeats. On second is UTS 6 for 1, RMIT third, UNSW fourth, MQU fifth, UOM 6th, QUT on the first win, and Swinburne on the bottom here. All the results are absolutely amazing, and what a show of display tonight, huh? Like, you warned me that I was gonna like see a ton of Marvel Rivals action, and you delivered.
Oh, mate, absolutely. Marvel Rivals is just an incredible competition, or an incredible game, and it has made for an incredible competition there, Emp. It has been absolutely stellar, and I appreciate each and every one of the players for putting on one hell of a show. You know, we've seen just amazing stuff all throughout from everybody involved here, and I'm very eager to see more of what's to come, you know, heading towards the playoffs here. I think that we definitely have fun times ahead. It's great to see the preview coming through into our regular season here, and keen for what the playoffs will bring as well, you know, because even if UTS did lose out their matchup tonight, they may yet have a chance at redemption heading in towards the playoffs. Same could be said of some of our lower paced teams, like RMIT, like UNSW. All teams within the playoffs have a chance to make their stand. So even if they weren't able to prove themselves as well as they might have liked through the season, there's always that one last chance if you make the playoffs. Monash, they've certainly proved themselves. They are the top of the tower, the team to beat at the moment, and eager to see if someone might be able to do it before the end of the season. Otherwise, they will go undefeated, and they will make their place in history of the AEL University Elite Series. But Emp, I think it's time to get the word on the street. It's time to say hello to Genzo.
Hi everyone, it's Genzo.
Welcome, welcome, and pleasure to have you on board tonight. We've caught up with a few of your teammates in the past, but great to have you here this evening. And first and foremost, mate, congratulations on the big win.
Thank you. And yeah, we like to cycle everyone to do interview, just so you can see all of us. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, great to get a chance to see all of you. And I guess coming into that matchup there, what do you feel lost you guys that second point on the first map there?
Yeah. Firstly, is if our main roster, we were missing Denzel, which is a pretty core part of our roster. So, I had to fill support. So, firstly, we're kind of starting the match off, not in the greatest position, but first point we still kind of managed to adapt and win. But just second point, just a bit of communication issues, I'd say, was the most difficult part. They had 2 DPSs kind of off angling, and we didn't really look at them properly, and so they got a lot of value. While me and Jaded, the supports, were kind of suffering in the back. But third point, we fixed it all up in our voice comms, and yeah, we won. Got the dub.
Do you feel like, obviously being undefeated, week after week has already added morale and everything else, confidence into your backs? Like, do you feel that your whole team now has synergized to the point where you're at your strongest? Like, is this your current peak?
I feel like as a roster, we can always get better. Always better communication. Always more champions to play. Sorry, characters, heroes to play. We can always grow as a team. But throughout our weeks of scrimming, AEL matches, etc., I'd say we've definitely gotten a lot better, especially in terms of our communication and finding team comms that work for us the best.
Absolutely, definitely great to see you guys improving all through the season there. I think it's great that you guys allow flexibility in your roster as well. You know, thinking about Pikachu jumping in at times, as well as Denzil there. Big shout out to Pikachu, and I'm sure they're watching along. But yeah, I suppose heading through towards the playoffs, do you feel like if you face UTS again towards the end of the playoffs, let's say, if you both make it through, do you think it might be a different UTS than what you faced today?
I definitely think so. They've also been a roster that has grown a lot throughout the weeks, and I've heard that they've been scrimming, practicing a lot as well. So they'll definitely be different, and they'll probably come back stronger. But so will we. So we'll see what happens if that happens again.
Oh, fair enough. That's a really cool statement. Well, obviously, we leave it for the best right here to be driving us all the way. Now, how confident are the members on your team right now to take it all the way undefeated through this season?
That was the goal ever since we made our roster from the start. We knew that would be a very strong roster and that we should perform very well. And so far, so good. And I believe that everyone on our team, our coaches, etc., we're all very confident that we'll go undefeated.
Absolutely, and great to see that confidence shining through, and it proves to be tested to be true all through the season so far, and keen to see if that's going to stay that way heading through towards the end. But once again, Genzo, congratulations to you and your team for everything you've done so far, and keen to see what's on the horizon.
Thank you. And one more thing,
Yeah.
I just want to shout out my team. Thanks everyone for making the time to play the game, to make sure that we're staying like top of the ladder, and everyone in Twitch chat for supporting us. Hugh, Trugs, etc. For keeping us cheered up, and yeah, thanks you for casters as well for making it entertaining.
Yeah,
No worries.
thank you. Definitely great to get some insights there from Genzo, and appreciate the support as well. Great to hear the love from the players. That's great. But you know what else is great, Emp? Our results.
Yeah, looking at the result. On to the first one, RMIT 2-1 over MQU, followed by UNSW taking a 2-0 over UOM, followed by QUT getting the first stop over Swinburne 2-0, and our final one, Monash against UTS 2-0. An absolute beauty. Looking at the final standings one last time, look at the results. Monash, UTS, RMIT, UNSW, MQU, UOM, QUT, Swinburne. These are the teams that's been competing with our first Elite Series of Marvel Rivals, and we're gonna definitely get a lot more of them, especially starting with the playoffs. But obviously, don't forget to support your best team, your best players, to support your mates. Chuck it into the Twitch chat and show them some love.
Absolutely, and great to see the love coming through for our players, for our teams there. Definitely appreciate all of it. And you know what else we appreciate? Our sponsors. So a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. And Imp, it's that time again. It's time to cure our hunger with...
Indomie! The noodle pot are made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au.
Yeah, big shout out to both of our wonderful sponsors there. Definitely appreciate them. A shout out to Indomie. You know them. We love them. Definitely great to cure your hunger at all times there. But as always, everybody, it's been a fantastical day. And if you want to check out more of the action, make sure you check out AU Esports League on Facebook, YouTube, X, you name it. Check us out on it. It is all going to be on there for our rivals, for all our other competitions as well. Rocket League, CS2, you name it. Check it all out. But speaking of this one, we are going to be back same time, same place next week. You do not want to miss it. The competition is heating up now, and it's only going to get better from here. But until next time, everybody, thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.